I'm live. I'm streaming on Twitch. You would not expect it. Well, we're watching the Masters finals. Like usual.
This is a moment that I think everyone in here, including ourselves, is going to remember for a very long time. And
it's probably a good setup I could
wait
use.
to see more of Kevin next season. It's going to be fantastic.
I mean, every trainer has a story, and to be, starting out, because obviously the juniors division, but to be continuing that story along in such a fashion, I mean, you know that he has such a bright journey ahead, and I cannot wait to see more of that. I mean, maybe next year we look at a three-time world champion back to back, because I would believe it. I would believe it.
On that point,
I haven't been following it a bit for the past couple days.
It's just incredible, but it's going to elevate the whole playing field of the seniors division, because you come into that division now and you're in that division already. This is what level you've got to be at to become the world champion, you know?
Sorry,
so,
I am actively
it's just
eating.
nothing but beneficial for that division. Makes it hard for Masters, of course, as well.
I mean, the Masters division, they got a lot to worry about, because it has been a common trend that the senior world championships will age up into the Masters division and still cause some chaos. Yeah. That is something that will be seen just more in a little bit here, but
the thing is,
yeah, I've been following
not to, you know, it's one of
things for the past couple days. I've been really watching the TCG side of things. That's what I like following a lot.
That infancy in that division
is
so rare for those players. You know, it has happened in the seniors to masters, but I think because
it's been fun watching what's been happening. What's the current things?
Experienced from a junior to a senior division, and that happening for both of our trainers. I mean, I have to give so much credit.
I'll show you on the side.
Being able to do exactly the same as Kevin, get to the final in your first year of seniors, it's just absolutely incredible. And what a pair of such talented trainers.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to talk about Handley after that match, and I mean, of course, that's heartbreaking. That is not the journey you want, but when you look at his past accomplishments, it has constantly been a level up, and now being on that world
I'm excited to see what the closing ceremony holds this year.
A journey that just keeps elevating, and I would love to see this be a rivalry that's continued on forward, because Cian beat Kevin last year with the Worlds, even though Kevin still went on to win. Now Kevin a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, well, the rivalry's just starting, right? But we've got something exciting for everyone in here. I believe we've got a t-shirt cannon somewhere.
We got a t-shirt cannon, guys?
Cannon. Who wants some t-shirts?
Why don't we make some noise for some t-shirts? Who wants some t-shirts, everyone?
Oh, there they are.
Oh, here comes the brigade. Let's make some noise.
Let me change out my setup is a bit.
The perfect gentleman to give the cannons to as well.
I was going to say the biggest troublemakers out here. Did you not see their shenanigans earlier?
I saw, yes.
It makes some noise. The louder you are, the better chance it is a t-shirt. I think that's exactly what they're saying. All right, let's see.
Whoa. They go far.
Right?
These hosts are kind of lame. I really like the guys that were hosting.
So I'm like,
I think it was like Unite. Or Unite or TCG earlier. There was a lot. They were just silly and fun, and I like those guys a lot.
Can shoot the furthest, right?
I need Dupes actually to figure out how to actually fire the cannon first.
I was kind of hoping that we might get to, but I don't think.
We'll ask them after to bring it over so we can get to shoot a t-shirt. Come on.
Oh, they're gonna.
I don't know. I want to shoot the cannon.
Yeah, we want to shoot the cannon. Oh.
All right. Oh, to us?
Oh,
to us?
we gotta catch it. Okay.
All right, let's see. Let's see.
You play rugby, so you should be good at this, right?
All right, dude, let's go. Oh, come on. You let him know. You let him know. All right, come on, Fraggles.
Look, you just have an idea of what Dribbler's shiny actually looks like as I'm hunting them.
All right, Rose, you gotta pass that shirt there.
I just wish there was like a better spot to hunt them. So I don't like anything. These spots that are currently on.
Fantastic. This has been unlike anything other. Let's keep that energy up, everyone. And that includes from our casters over there. Come on, Unite. Get it together. Always unite.
Always unite.
Always unite.
All you have to unite, guys.
Is really on point here. earlier. I feel like
Yeah, I really like these guys a lot.
For someone so keen to shoot the t-shirt cannon.
Up your game, dudes.
Up your game, buddy.
I feel like we need to cover this corner over here because I feel like these
this
guys.
corner of the arena has had the best energy. Let's go.
Guys, I feel like this corner. They're not listening. They can't hear me.
Oh my god, it's Shark. You got the first today.
I mean, if I was shooting t-shirt cannon.
Oh my god, it's Dio Brando from the hit JoJo anime thing.
I wish they kind of still had the cape.
So awesome.
There we go. I feel like Dubes was telling me this is like being 4 years in the making.
I do kind of feel bad for like not streaming so often anymore. It's like
This is the best day of his life. Living his best
yeah, it's the Masters Finals for the main video game.
There we go. Good catch. Good catch.
Good catch over there.
Which we have like 20 minutes for, give or take.
Those bags are full as well. We got
I could have waited. Wolfie got knocked out yesterday, I believe, if I remember seeing correctly. But James and Giovanni are the people that are doing things. I'm in the same boat. I do have friends that are currently here at Worlds. I don't think they're playing though. Schmiergle.
Some great games.
incredible games. I mean,
like most people do know
phenomenal. Seniors was
Wolfie.
I mean, beyond expectations. That was just such a great game. And just, yeah, I'm just speechless a little bit on that one. And we've got Masters to come. We've still got Masters.
But before that, well, they're still dealing with t-shirts. We have Gabby standing by for an
Yeah, he's also like the most active and really just like out there player.
I don't know if I'm going to be hit in the head by a t-shirt, so maybe watch your heads. Also, this is Elliot and Aaron, who came all the way from the UK to watch the World Championship.
I do want to go play at Worlds some point in my life.
It's insane. I love it. It's great here.
That is like actively one of my goals I want to do.
I don't know about you guys, but if this
But so I'll probably be playing the card game because I really like playing the card
I
game.
don't know what I do, honestly.
Like I would get my ass handed to me too.
It's absolutely wild. I really hope it comes to like the UK again, like it did a few years ago, because I would love to try and compete. It's been amazing here.
So cool. It's just been so
Oh,
cool.
he's purple, Kate.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourselves. Obviously,
I've
huge
also
Pokemon
thought of
fans.
playing Peak
Favorite
instead of like
Pokemon,
shiny hunting, but like
Pokemon.
the new event just started, so I'm like, okay, I'll go do the new event.
My favorite Pokemon is Mimikyu, and I've got Lunala because it's my favorite legendary, and it's playing in the Masters Finals in a little bit, which I'm looking forward to. I've played the TCG for a long time.
I am a TCG person. I like the card game a lot.
The side event was yesterday, which was amazing.
And I'm waiting for the next expansion to release so I can really start working on my new deck.
In Hull, England. Shout out to Pokesock. Yeah, I love Quagsire, Clodsire, and Furt. They are my favorites of all time. Oh man, so
I don't think I could ever do video game things for Pokemon. I kind of suck ass.
Are you awake? I mean, has this woken you up?
And then that's kind of the fun part. I do want to do more things.
But it's been really,
I'd at least want to try and make a team.
but long day definitely.
Yeah, and like, I mean, even nowadays it's a lot easier, but still actively a lot to do in the first place.
I've been loving it since. It's really, really fun. Elliot, was that also your favorite game to watch?
And there's just so many Pokemon I know nothing about. Like what's good with what, who's using who, type of thing.
But also seeing Gardevoir win after
Scyther!
100%.
All right, well, I have to ask you two. This is a huge trip, obviously. What advice would you have for anybody at home who wants to be a part of, quite frankly, one of the most chaotic moments of my life? Do you have any advice? Like, what would you recommend if they want to come to the World Championships next year?
If they wanted to come
Yeah, I'm
If
like,
they want to come to attend the
I'm
World
Gen
Championships
2,
next year, maybe
Gen
already know
5.
what the heck this is.
And like Gen 9 here.
But also all the side events are really cool. We played ZA. There's the TCG tournaments as well. And just spectate everything.
Usually, like, when we move on to the next generation, I will forget the previous one a whole bunch.
It's really fun. All right, well, thank you both so
In fact, I used to say that about Sword and
much.
Shield, but I'm like, oh, nope, I play too much Scarlet and Violet now.
Casters, I gotta watch my head. Back to you.
Gabby, the chaos is all over the arena here. There's t-shirts going absolutely everywhere, but I absolutely love it. I mean, to hear for some people, this is the first World Championships, and this is the standard set. I mean, come on.
The new stadium they did for this Worlds is actually kind of like really cool. From what we've seen of it, like, it seems pretty neat. I do kind of like last year's one, which I think was Honolulu.
I think the entire arena is going to be dressed in
Think.
their Pokemon attire.
I mean, everyone, give it up. They're out of shirts, but still, give it up, guys, for your Pokemon Unite casters and just the energy here. Guys, make some noise. Maybe they'll bring out some more teams.
Yeah, casters were like a lot of fun earlier.
As always, Sierra, you are perfectly spot on about the two best candidates to do this job.
I mean, it's the duo. It is the chaos. Just watch out for them. Just watch out for them.
Yeah.
Don't let the power of the t-shirt cannons go to their head.
It's too late. It's way too late. We're beyond that.
They're about to go and just get their own t-shirt cannon.
No, the two people here, they were the Unite casters, and the people currently like at the podium,
They got one left.
are the
I don't know. They're off the stage. Whether
VGC
it's
casters.
whether it's to get in their seats for the next
And like they were like a lot of fun. The Unite casters, they were so full of energy compared to the TCG and VGC here, which is kind of really funny.
One last shirt. Who's making the most noise for the one final shirt?
Louder than anything you've done before. If you want this last shirt.
The blonde guy really likes like nice pink and flashy outfit. Let's see if I can go try find it on Twitter.
What silence? I don't know if that's possible. This is too electric.
You're not Jenny.
Yeah, like you don't need all that. You don't need the cape and everything. You don't need those.
That side's winning.
It was a lot of fun watching that earlier.
It's close. I think you should do a run back. Side one.
Ooh.
Oh, these two. I think that's actually the last one, but great job, you guys.
Great job.
Despite all of the shirts that you did miss, but still killing it out there. Dubs, get out of here. Get off that stage. Oh, those two. Let's go.
I do hope those two actively return for next year.
I think I would
Did you
also...
see his magic trick earlier? Did you see the rolls?
These two.
I saw
Capes.
yeah, the capes, the rolls. I saw the full.
They're making sure that they're really hamming it up for Championship
Yeah, they
Sunday,
did a
that's
good
for
job.
sure. But
Those guys don't disappoint.
I mean, it's deserved, right? We got the arena. I also, when they were like doing the t-shirt cannon, I saw like a couple of signs out there in the arena as well. Particularly they cheer on individuals in our Master Finals. I think that is amazing. I think that is just so wholesome, so cute. I'm just so excited for that final game of the day.
Yeah,
I do want to... This is a really fucked up thing to say. Like, I kind of want to play Unite again, despite me not really liking that game, and it does kind of make me mad.
Got a lot of support coming into this finals, and
Because I'm not too big on MOBAs in general, but I'm like, oh, maybe.
who do you think's gonna win? I think both have an amazing shot and are incredible.
They
trainers.
got some Pokemon I like.
It's gonna be crazy, but I think there might be a little.
And it
bit
probably
more
runs
in
better on
Joe
Switch
Brown
too.
standing up
Joe
the
Brown's
crowd.
here.
What's about to happen?
That's Joe Brown.
Oh, the Pokemon World Championships in Anaheim, California. What a wonderful time it's been. What a wonderful weekend. I've just been having an absolute blast with fantastic Pokemon all around here on Championship Sunday. And honestly, Europe has been so dominant.
Yeah, I love my Switch too. I've been playing it all. I love it a lot.
Such a crazy NAIC performance.
I like people's message.
On top of the world. Victor Medina, one of Europe's best players.
What is this?
According to all the European players. Sure. What European are you rooting for in finals, Victor?
What was this shirt?
Two-time world champion Kevin Hunt, Joe Ugarte.
There's two of them.
Brady. What American are you rooting for an American in the finals?
Right.
I'm rooting for both of them.
Welcome to the League of Legends World Championship career read.
That is actually like that's really funny. That's so fucking. It's been like a decade. Oh, that is actually like really funny though. I like that a lot.
Oh my goodness. I mean, first off, anyone but Victor. Come on.
I know, right? Pick the nicest guy from Europe to pick on Joe Brown, and I feel like you engineered this. You created this, Joe. We do love you though. Very funny.
I mean, it's not
Actually,
wrong,
I
though,
kind of want
at
to. Wait, is
this
that
season.
shiny?
When you look at NAIC, the conversation was so different coming into
No.
the World Championships of, well, who are going to be the top players? It was so strong for Europe that you guys got two sides of players to watch.
Yeah, and it's no surprise either from the performances that the European players came in and have done this season, right? LAIC starting there, then EYC slightly different.
I mean, it's the Wolf effect.
Yeah, I was gonna check Unite real quick while I was shiny hunting.
But then we had NAIC right as well. So and then
No, I don't think that's it.
Across the pond
No.
and back home.
Not purple enough.
So well in whatever environment they were in. So they were the guaranteed favorites coming in. You felt like it, but then NA decided to show up and they put on an incredible show and kind of solidified why they are such strong trainers and kind of give everyone the reminder that they maybe did need. That they are here and they mean business.
Especially too when you're looking at the changes to this World Championships and absolutely how stacked it is, I think that just holds so much more weight as well. When that was the whole conversation throughout the weekend was, this is such a stacked World Championships. This is one of the most stacked of all times. So to be able to see Gio and James in that finals of the most stacked World Championships of all time, the two Americans.
It's pretty incredible, and yeah. I think
Is Unite even downloaded? I forget.
Everywhere else is gonna be eating a little bit of humble pie after this weekend.
Hey, a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So
yeah.
Actually, before I hit.
talent keeps getting
Is it
stronger
updated?
out there, then
I've
hey,
always been the biggest supporter of NA, so
Yeah.
I've never been part of this.
even after Joe Brown was picking on Victor Medina out in the crowd, you gotta defend him.
Oh well, I'm always the biggest advocate of Victor. You know, I'll always defend Victor.
We all love Victor. Let's be real. Let's be real. But yeah, I mean, we're in for such a treat ahead. I feel like it has just been so insane here. I mean, it's two very deserving trainers with two very different stories, and I don't want to get too far into it because, of course, we got to make sure that we lose the stories for them. But I just got to say that
I'll let that download after I'm done my shiny hunting.
I mean, for those trainers, regardless of the result, to walk out on that stage is everything. And to be able to have so many world championships already crowned, I mean, I can't believe it's almost over.
Yeah, I know. And just out of interest, what's been your favorite? Because I know everyone in this arena is going to have their own individual favorite moment from the World Championships. But for you, what so far? It's not over yet, of course, so there might be bits left to unfold today that might be your favorite. But up to now, you to name one thing, what was your?
I'm just watching. Nothing to gas up here. I'm just watching
I mean,
Masters.
a lot of trainers are going to share the same sentiment, but to walk into the arena for the first time, to see what this game has become, to be able to see where...
I asked a really neat question. Is that like asking questions in a server I'm in? I'm just like, oh, what's your favorite shiny? I'm like, oh, fuck, what is my favorite shiny Pokemon?
I mean, there is just nothing else like that, and... yeah, I mean, that has to be my favorite moment. More specific, of course, Kevin winning Worlds. That's awesome. So I don't know.
Not the T-shirt cannon then.
Well, unfortunately, Spraggles tried to shoot a T-shirt towards us and failed both times. So
no, I'm messing. I think that is, yeah, you know, it was
I have to look at my national shiny decks, so that helps me a bit.
I think when you
What's
look
that?
around and you see the support for our players who are here kind of to be involved in the World Championships, because each and every one individual that's here this weekend in this arena is involved with the 2025 World Championships, and it's just so special to be able to share it with everyone here and everyone watching from all the other regions from around the globe.
And we have to make sure that everyone is thanked as well, because the reason that this arena is so amazing has been
double
because of this
follows.
amazing crowd, the energy here, everything else.
Yeah, give it up for yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to give yourselves a round of applause for
It's
the
like-
energy that you've been providing today for our players and trainers and everyone else.
I don't really think about shinies too much as like I would wanna. Especially like I am actively shiny hunting at the
I
moment.
don't know what he has up his sleeve, but let's go find out.
Thanks so much. That's right. I'm standing by here in the audience with Michael, and we are going to be playing a fun little game. Guess that Pokedex. Michael, how familiar are you with the Pokedex?
I'm pretty
You
good.
can't catch me off guard like that, shark.
Feeling confident. Well, let's test that confidence right now up here on the main screen. Let's see that first entry. Like the wind, it can slip through any gap, no matter how small.
I know things too well with this game.
Fluff behind. What's your thought process here? Are you getting any clues from that flavor text?
I know this off the top of my head because this is already one of my favorite Pokemon. It's Whimsicott.
There's also no shiny sound effect.
I was kind of thinking Swablu. I'm not gonna.
Well, it fucking sucks. I hate that about Scarlet and Violet. There's just no shiny sound effect.
Whimsicott with the wind does make sense, and sure enough.
I'm gonna be buying like 2 copies of Legends ZA, which
All right, let's move
says
on
a
to the
lot
next
about how I am.
Pokemon can control 100 tons of fallen snow. It plays around innocently by leaping in and out of avalanches it has caused.
Ooh. A Pokemon that can cause
Yeah, especially with how things I've been looking up recently. I'm like, ooh.
maybe Abomasnow?
Abomasnow could be a good guess. Is Abomasnow a Pokemon that you feel like is going to be leaping, though? I don't really know that he's quite mobile like that.
I'll close off
Any
my
other
thing
thoughts?
there.
Any other ice types? Maybe more like Snover?
I gotta open by
If
thing
it's
up here again.
something
Okay.
that can jump, maybe
The big.
Alolan Ninetales?
Ooh, okay.
I'm also excited to have a new game I can go shiny hunt in.
Let's see the reveal. We'll go with Abomasnow / Alolan Ninetales. Ooh, Chien Pao. Chien Pao. Yeah, that
Because
definitely-
as much as I like Scarlet and Violet, it does the wear on me a bit.
Here we
It's
go.
fun to
Let's go
try out
around
new
and pick
things.
up the scent of a Veluza just over 65 feet away, and will hide itself in the sand.
Ooh, if it's gonna pick up Veluza, it's gotta be from Paldea, right?
That would make sense to me. Yeah, I think I like the line of thinking here.
If it's targeting specifically Veluza, I think it might be
Yeah,
Predators.
it's like I love these games a lot, and I don't mind shiny hunting them. I think my biggest problem is a lot of the shinies that were made for this generation absolutely suck dog ass, and
I don't know, ostriches are
when you're
very
shiny hunting,
hide in the fan.
it's hard to tell which is a shiny or not since we don't have the encounter sound
Let's see
anymore.
the reveal here. Ooh, the Wiglets. I'd say that's definitely a Pokemon known for hiding in the sand. I wouldn't necessarily think of it in Veluza's enemies, though. So
Well, and like I like Arceus a lot just for the reason I'm able to properly shiny hunt, even if it is kind of also kind of ass a
It
bit.
is said to represent the crescent moon.
Ooh, if it's talking about the moon, it's gotta be Cresselia, right? There's no other Pokemon that...
Yeah, I mean, Wiglet's cool though because it's like a divergent species, like how animals have like
The line of thinking.
other variants that are similar but are
What do you
not the
guys think?
same.
Let's hear some guesses. Shout them out. Wow, that was a bad idea for me. I do not understand a thing that anyone just said. Let's go with a Cresselia guess. It is.
Gee,
indeed
and let's see how much
Cresselia.
arrows I have.
Michael, well done, well done. Let's see if we've got another one here.
In Legends
Let's
Arceus
keep
at the
rolling
moment.
here.
I don't think I've actually have put it in actively
With
recently.
power equal to
No,
an
I have
excavator, it can
not.
dig through dense
That's like-
bedrock. It's a huge help during tunnel construction.
Ooh, a Pokemon that can dig. Maybe a ground type. Ooh, how about Excavator? Excadrill.
I like it. Thinking
Extra
with
drill, that's what I'm
the
currently
other
doing.
way. the prefix. Let's lock it in. Excadrill, show me Excadrill.
Actually, I'm doing Drillbur.
Diggersby!
Oh.
Diggersby! Wow, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of on the same wavelength as you. I was thinking Excadrill for sure.
But I should get like
Diggersby,
shiny up thing here.
I didn't know he was so helpful. Here we go. It is constantly racked by a headache. When the headache turns intense, the crowd is already yelling here. It begins to use mysterious powers. What do you think here, Michael?
Shit, I think the current
It's Psyduck.
Show me
Macho Man Duck Trio.
Indeed,
Yeah, brother.
is correct.
I think the current theming for this current stuff is all ground-based Pokemon.
Had that one locked in pretty quickly.
I think.
I think from here we're
I think Drillbur is a ground
over
Pokemon.
to the casters, and we're getting ready for that VGC Masters finals match. Let's hear some noise. If you guys are excited,
Yeah, understandable. I should also do more cleaning today, but I just haven't.
Thank you so much, everybody, and welcome
Drillbur's
to the
ground.
Pokemon World Championship.
Peldy and Wooper. I want to do more Beyblade stuff also here soon. That's like a thing I want to do.
So pumped to bring you through our final match of the
Ground
season, the Video Game
Sandwich Pokemon.
Championship Masters Finals.
Anaheim, let's do this!
Woo!
Rose, I am so excited. There's so many incredible storylines coming into this Master Division Finals. We just saw the first person in VGC history to win in 2 age divisions in the World Championships. We might see a second happen today as well.
That would be incredible. We are certainly making history here in this Anaheim arena, as well as just in Anaheim, California, and around the world with this year's Pokemon World Championships. And it has been quite the journey. Thinking back to how it all started on Friday, we had just 370 Masters Division trainers that entered into the convention center and battled it out to make it to this moment where they would have the chance to become the world champion.
This tournament in particular has felt so difficult. We saw all 3 of our international champions,
sandwich.
heavy favorites to win this entire tournament, get knocked out early on.
I do
Not a
creative.
single one made it to the top cut bracket.
Do I have ham?
There
Okay,
are
no, I do
only
have
2 players
ham.
that stand with team compositions that I think people maybe didn't put a lot of respect on coming into this event.
Up till this point, we were looking at the Pokemon World Championships and how dominant Miraidon has been as the premier legendary Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. But I think our finalists in the Masters Division have certainly had something to say about that, with Miraidon guaranteed to win a World Championships.
Not only just that, USA has officially won the World Championships in all 3 age divisions. Let's hear it, yeah, come on! Rose, do you know the last year that's happened in VGC?
2016.
That's right, almost 1 whole decade ago. USA is so back, and I think that's actually a big deal because coming out of the North American International Championships this year, people were like, hey, where's America at? Here we are at World showing up.
And here we go as we get ready for the finals.
The finals. Giovanni. Good James. Oh shit. All right. Yeah, Nate Wants to Battle did like a thing for this.
We'll have a new U.S. World Champion, but who's it gonna be?
I mean, he does do a lot of Pokemon things.
Let's play some good Pokemon, but I'm gonna play better.
I always knew him for Pokemon stuff. Especially, he's become a big name now, which is always surprising.
Please welcome to the stage from the USA, James Evans! And also from the USA, please welcome Giovanni Siski! saw you walking down that catwalk, just going like this. How are you feeling?
It's just amazing. I'm honored to be a part of this for the first time ever in Pokemon VGC history, Pokemon competitive history. It just means a lot to me to be back here again, which is something not a lot of people can say. Although we just saw a senior do that, so it just means a lot to me, and I'm really excited for how this is going to go, win or lose.
I don't know much about the teams they are using, so I'm excited to see what they have.
How does it feel to be standing on this arena?
I hope Smeargle is part of one of their teams, because I love Smeargle. It's like no secret.
To this point now, through all the ups and downs, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of you that have been there every step of the way for me, and I hope to put on a good show for you guys.
Just one more question for each of you. What do you think you need to do in this match in order to become the world champion? What do you think is your most important goal?
I think the tempo in this matchup actually will dictate a lot, so just watch out for that.
All right. James, he says watch out for that. What do you think your most important thing you're going to have to keep in mind for this match is?
Winning.
It's a good focus. All right, we can't wait to watch you play, so we'll have you take your seats, and there are some important special guests on the floor with Gabby.
That's true.
Thank you so much, Anna. I'm here with Kian and Kareem, who are supporting Gio
No.
and James.
I thought for a moment, never mind.
Kian, one of the time-honored traditions of a Video Game Masters finalist is preparing for the match, but I've heard that James and Gio went to dinner together last night, and you were there. So tell me, was that a tense meal?
It wasn't that tense. We're all really close. Everyone was just trying to enjoy
It's kind of fun going out to dinner together.
We all just try to enjoy the moment of two friends being in the finals together.
I'm glad that you were all able to share that moment. Now tell me a little bit about Gio's prep coming into the match today.
Yeah, we worked tirelessly overnight. We stayed up super late, and then even worked a little bit before this to make sure that he was all prepared for this most important match of his life, to be honest.
Do you think he got enough sleep?
Oh, he most definitely got enough sleep. We worked hard for him so he could get his beauty. I
was like, yeah, no, I think I'm in the same age range of these two.
Practicing as well?
I know that James was practicing a lot with our
friends
Joe and Brady, and the three of them are all just excellent players. And
I don't know anymore. I've given up being like.
I know that Joe and Brady definitely put him through the ringer.
I felt old recently. Yeah.
Now, Kareem, you've mentioned that you've known James for a really long time.
I joined.
Having been on the stage yourself, this is a really big moment to be a part of for James.
I mean, like, they wouldn't be in the Master Division if they were like 14. But he definitely has more of a baby face.
Such an amazing, dedicated person. Anything he wants to get done, he gets done. He's very determined, and I have no doubt that this is going to be the same deal. I know how badly he wants this, and I have full faith that he's going to get it.
Thank you so much.
He could like throw.
Words of advice, encouragement. Anything you want to say to Gio before he starts this match?
It's hard to pick like one thing to say, but Gio's been using Koraidon since beginning of Regulation G, when even then no one believed in it, and even up until now no one really believed in it as well. So just Gio be Gio.
My son is in the correct age division.
Right, well,
yes, sirree.
I'll let you get seated to enjoy the match. Casters, back to you.
It doesn't get any better than this. Both of our Masters finalists taking to the stage and getting ready for one of the most intense battles of their life to claim that title of World Champion.
I'm so excited. It's been a battle of the Koraidons here, and these teams, they actually function very differently. Koraidon and
Smeargle. Oh, no Smeargle. I know Smeargle was at the event this weekend on like a team. I don't know whose team.
That Giovanni has on his team. You've got Choice Scarf Chiyu. You've got this Fluttermane, which of course can Icy Wind.
But like it's always fun seeing unique Pokemon. Well, not really unique. Smeargle has been constantly used in the past.
You've got Raging Bolt, which can actually survive even.
It's just always neat seeing people's lineup, even if I don't understand why they have picked those Pokemon.
Really gonna dictate this this set is the early turns. Is James able to match Giovanni's offense? Can he play defense to survive a couple of turns and really survive all the damage that Giovanni has to offer?
And it's not even just about the tempo, it's also just about the natural speed that all of these Pokemon are going to have. Taking a look at Gio's team in particular, you look at something like that Chi-Yu that's holding the Choice Scarf, the Fluttermane under photosynthesis conditions, as well as this Koraidon holding the Life Orb. They tend to be trained to be just a bit on the faster side. So I wonder how James's own Koraidon is going to stack up against that.
Yeah, and these Koraidon sets are different as well, right? On one hand, you have this Life Orb Koraidon that hits for really, really hard. On the other hand, it is the clear Amulet Koraidon.
I honestly, I don't know who I want to vote for.
Hit KO pressure, especially with that fighting type attack. It's Life Orb close combat on one
Look,
side.
I guess I'll do James because he's a Vancouver champion.
You have the ability to just double up, punch, 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 and get knockout after knockout. So from James's end, I'm looking, what is your response? What is your defense? And two big tools I think that you should pay attention to in this matchup are going to be the Raging Bolt and the actual Brute Bonnet, which you wouldn't expect to be super strong in an opposing Sun matchup, but Brute Bonnet with that Water Terra can be super.
Also, James has a big flippy, yeah, that's kind of awesome.
Also, just the Sucker Punch. You have Sucker Punch as well as Thunderclap, two priority options that James.
I don't know why I have to like a note of it thing. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Natural speed that Giovanni has on his team is going to be a problem. Priority moves are one way to bypass that.
I absolutely love that point because look.
And it's great to see like half the team just be legendaries.
Pokemon that are really frail. Thunderclap can actually do so much damage to a Fluttermane that doesn't have bulk when you have that photosynthesis sun boost. Similarly, Sucker Punch from Brute Bonnet will allow you to do a lot as well. And so priority is a nice way to get around the fact that James does have to worry a little bit about the fast speed from the opposing side. He's got a lot of options on this team. I think the two non-restricteds that I am paying the most attention to are Brute Bonnet and Raging Bolt. But I think Incineroar is also interesting because you can weave in some.
Yeah, that's how I am with like a lot of this. I'm like, I don't know who half these guys are, but I'm like, I'm here for the ride.
As you already called out, the Life Orb that Gio's Koraidon is going to be holding, it's notably not clear Amulet. There's no way for you to actually protect your own Koraidon from taking Intimidate attack drops.
Absolutely.
go sports team, go Barcelona.
Similar Pokemon here with the Koraidon and Brute Bonnet. Both of these Brute Bonnets crucially being water.
I don't know what I'm doing.
But of course, Gio has a lot of options in terms of speed control. You can use that Fluttermane to drop your opponent's speed immediately. And there's the Lunala Ursa Luna combination as well. What makes Gio's team so threatening is you don't really know what mode he's going to commit to. You can lead Fluttermane with Koraidon. You can lead Koraidon with Chi-Yu. You can lead Lunala, set up Trick Room, get Ursa Luna in. The options feel endless, and it's really difficult to pinpoint a play that allows you to cover for all of those.
That's kind of the big signature calling card of a lot of these teams that have something like those faster Pokemon as well as.
But I just forget how silly Drover is. I love Drover a lot.
We often see sometimes those types of teams backfire. If you don't get the Trick Room set up at the right time, that's something that your opponent can capitalize on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you look at the offense that Gio's team has to offer, it's really scary for James, right? Fluttermane alone. You've got a Moonblast that's 4 times super effective in a Koraidon. You've got a Shadow Ball into that Shadow Rider as well. That Pokemon can handle the restricted.
Snover.
Chi-Yu is so commonly used in the format to deal with Calyrex Shadow Rider as well. Gio has so much offense.
There's so much offense, but
that's what I've been saying. I hardly know.
With both of these trainers that are on our stage right now, each of them using their restricted duos the entirety of the Regulation I double restricted format. On the one hand, you have James Evans that comes in off the back of being able to get top 32.
I do want to buy some Pokemon plushes soon.
Milwaukee Regional Championships.
I think the ones I want to buy are like never in stock, and that pisses me off.
The only difference is that he used to have a Galarian Weezing on that team, as well as a Chi-Yu of his own that he has now swapped out for Incineroar and Landorus Incarnate, respectively.
Absolutely. In a format that feels like there's so much volatility, so many different combinations that you can pick from in terms of restricteds, these players have been on this since day one. They have truly mastered.
It's also crazy that like next year is most likely going to be the final Scarlet and Violet tournament. Like Worlds and whatnot.
So much mastery. This was not a team that a lot of people actually had pegged as a favorite coming into this event, and both of them are using restricted duels that were not in the top 4 of usage rates.
And Gio, the power and the conviction that he's had to run this team since the very beginning is something that he's been heavily rewarded for. His season has been phenomenal. And it's, as coming in as a trainer that hasn't had a major win yet, Imagine if this is the one. Imagine if you have stuck to your guns and you're going to win the World Championships as your first major title.
There's so much pressure on the line here. I know both players are also so excited to, of course, be here. And it's been an incredible journey. Of course, James Evans won the Senior Division World Championships many, many years ago. He's won the North American International Championships. He's won multiple regional titles. He has won so much in competitive Pokemon. He's looking to win Worlds once again. Like you said, Gio's chasing for literally his very first title. I think he's not made it past top 8 in any tournament
there you
before.
are.
And here he is now in the finals.
Well, let's get ready to go. This is a best of 3 for all the marbles. The World Championship title on the line. Make some noise as we get into game number 1.
Oh, wow. Okay, in a restricted format, there's actually no restricteds to hit the field to start the game.
That is wild. We are going to see Gio have that Fluttermane
Yeah.
do that Choice Scarf Chi-Yu. And for James Evans, he's opted into bringing that Incineroar.
Gen 10 should be like end of next year.
It's a really good defensive option from James's end because you have that Water Terra. Gio does not have a way to really take advantage of that and hit you for super effective damage, right? So right now, Incineroar is, of course, applying fake.
Or that, or we're also moving into Pokemon Champions also.
Right now on James's end can launch a Spore, can go for that Water Terra defense.
Yeah, saying Gen 10 is the wild on like the 25th or the 20th anniversary of this Pokemon in general.
Because if so, that means you drop one of your restricted. I like this defensive lead from James's end.
Not 20th, 30th anniversary of Pokemon.
Slowing down the pressure that you want to apply.
Well, there aren't going to be any swaps. It's just a terrestrialization to start off our first game, and it is the Brute Bonnet as in James terrestrialization. Pokemon of choice in game number 1. Brute Bonnet, the Water Terra.
God, I do kind of want a second Drover.
Typing to have, not even just against those fire types.
I'll go run around and see if there's like a number one may have spawned.
Go for the fake out. It's going to stop the Chi-Yu in its tracks for this turn, but the move for its troubles, though, this Brute Bonnet is able to land a Spore into the Chi-Yu, one of the biggest offensive pieces here for Gio.
I don't know why I'm like, ooh, I like Dribble a lot now, and I just do.
Right now, right? And so Fluttermane, that beats of Ruin, giving you that special defense drop, allowing you to do even more damage to Brute Bonnet. This Brute Bonnet can't protect, so you are vulnerable to just eating up another Moonblast right now. Of course, it has the ability to go for Sucker Punch, try to break that Fluttermane.
The spot works for me like a lot.
Fluttermane does have the ability to go for Protect, allowing Incineroar to maybe launch an attack right now. But James has slowed down some of the offense, but Gio still has so much coming out from this Fluttermane right now.
And the Chi-Yu, while it has to take that mandatory turn of sleep, it could wake up on the next turn, and so you're really only stopping his Chi-Yu for just a short while. And Gio doesn't want to take the risk, actually decides to put the Fluttermane back in its Pokeball for later, and brings out a Brute Bonnet of his own, maybe suspecting that a Spore would be going into that Fluttermane's way. It's also
I think Paldean Wooper is like a lot more pink in its design.
And that's going to fail as this Chi-Yu does take a turn of sleep.
So the Brute Bonnet is in the back. There is an answer to the sleep here, and you've actually gotten enough damage onto the opposing
What I
Bonnet
think.
when you do pressure, of course, with damage from the Seed Bomb on your own end. That is the one way you can hit it for super effective damage. And so I wasn't expecting Gio to drop one of his restricteds coming into this. I think my guess is it's probably that Lunala. We'll have to wait and see. But right now you have
Damn, we got a Giovanni fan in here.
and your Brute Bonnet is looking pretty scary right now.
Ash wins! No! I thought Ash has been dead.
Yeah, I mean, you could Seed Bomb this, or, you know, the Brute Bonnet is also no longer Grass type, so just Spore that slot safely as well.
Let's see. I think what's so interesting about this matchup coming into it is both players had so much time to prepare for it, and I think this game now looks so different from then if they had just played immediately, say, yesterday, right? And so both players have had so much preparation time. Chi-Yu is going to stay asleep here.
Here for James to take
True.
advantage of as the Brute Bonnet does go for the Spore.
I don't know much about either. I was rooting for James because Ice Rider and Roaring
It has been such a defensive game to start.
Raging Thunder.
Not seen a restricted Pokemon hit the field yet. Everyone has just been
But like I really have no say.
I think it's a little bit scary right now because you know
I don't know either. I only know Wolfie, and that's pretty much it. And Wolfie ain't here.
And so both players are really wary of that. They don't want to make that switch out. Chi-Yu right now is exerting, of course, offensive pressure onto the Brute Bonnet. Should it manage to wake up, it can go for something like that Dark Pulse and target down that Brute Bonnet. So we're going to see another switch from Giovanni.
Geo now removing the brute bonnet and
I do want. I was saying this earlier, but I do want to understand the video game tournament stuff.
But notably, this Koraidon is going to be setting the sun.
Because I have been a purely card game player for who knows how many years now. I want to say at least.
So you know it might be able to go for an attack on this turn, but it stays asleep.
Probably.
Critical turn of sleep here for James.
Crucially staying asleep.
5 to 4 years now. I've been an active card game player.
Now you have positioned the Koraidon in, right? And this is the amount of offense that you are looking to exert.
Which I do want to play more recently. I'm waiting for the next set to release in English. I can make my deck on TCG Live.
I don't think Chiyu feigns from another sucker punch either, right? And so Geo took a little bit of a risk there because with Koraidon switching in, it could have been Spore into that slot, but are you really going to Spore the Brute Bonnet? And so it's a great bait by Geo, and now he has finally gotten the offense out in the field. This is going to be a really big turn. Can James even...
I should really look up Paldean Wooper. I think he's actually like more bluish pink.
Switch it in and take a fighting type attack on that Incineroar slot.
But what if Geo calls that and actually decides to go after an attack onto this Brute Bonnet?
Okay, he's a lot more like standard Wooper. Okay.
Onto the Brute Bonnet, and that's one way that you can make sure this Incineroar does something on this turn. The sucker punch into the Chiyu, that was enough damage to get the knockout, and so Geo is not able to utilize this Chiyu at all this game number 1.
Yeah, sucker punch itself won't get the knock, and you see Flame Charge come out as well. I think part of what Geo's thinking is, I want that speed boost, and I think you're probably going to switch Incineroar out, but it's an incredible turn for James there as he manages to get the wake up that gives him the extra damage that he needs to get the knockout onto Chiyu. And so I think that was what looked like a really scary position for James ends up being much more positive.
Well, at least you have the free switch into your own Brute Bonnet that's also going to be getting that Photosynthesis defense boost. But how helpful is that really going to be when you're still trying to get your first knockout in this game? This Brute Bonnet has a defensive Water Terra. You're really hoping that your Chrome Koraidon is able to do some major damage here.
Absolutely, yeah. I think now the damage definitely has stalled out a little bit, right? Like helping that sucker punch was a cool way to get that knockout, but now you don't have very much offense. You are staring down such a powerful Koraidon that's positioned so well. And the Brute Bonnet on the opposing side is of course very scary as well. One thing that's crucial to note is that James's Brute Bonnet, or James's Incineroar does not have that Flare Blitz. And so without Flare Blitz, you don't have that ability to just threaten a lot of damage onto Brute Bonnet. So I think this turn, once again, I think it's still scary for James. He got the better end of it the previous turn, but we'll see how this one plays out.
Both trainers, of course, taking their time as they know how perilous these next couple of turns can be. And James wants to save this Brute Bonnet for just a little bit later. The Shadowrunner Calyrex.
But I do really like shiny Brute Bonnet.
That hits the field, the first restricted Pokemon rebuild for James in this first game.
And the question is, did the fighting type attack go into that slot? Close combat goes into Calyrex. That's the play I was talking about the previous turn. And James now gets the parting shot off. Oh my goodness, he's going to be able to pivot out a little bit more. Brute Bonnet, of course, still has the ability to go for a Spore, can put something to sleep, but it's a beautiful bait into the Calyrex slot, and it manages to at least switch in for free for now.
That's a huge deal. I mean, Geo is really hoping to get as much mileage as possible out of this Koraidon, and every single turn that James is able to negate that damage and just continues to start to swing the tides into his favor. But what comes out now into this Incineroar's place?
That's the first question, and then the second question is, Brute Bonnet, who are you targeting, right? Sleep is such a big deal in this matchup, and this is the thing that we were talking about before we came into the game. The defense matters so much. You're looking to slow down pieces so that your offense can just start punching holes. It's Brute Bonnet coming out from the opposing end. Of course, it's Water Terra, so let's see. Where does Geo's Brute Bonnet target?
Okay, well, after the Photosynthesis boost, we get to find out our answer, and it is just the Brute Bonnet that James switches in that will take that. Still not a horrible trade to have made there. A Spore onto anything is still going to be of great benefit to Geo's game plan.
Yeah, I think James is happy with that, though. You saw you did a little fist bump. If that Calyrex gets put to sleep, it probably just does not get to attack in this game. So at least it's Brute Bonnet, which is the defensive piece. Calyrex right now is exerting a lot of offense, and crucially, you were able to neutralize the Chiyu in the early game, right? So with Chiyu eliminated, that no longer threatens Calyrex. It's still an awkward position for Calyrex, quite frankly, because your moves are Astral Barrage, you have Psychic, you have Encore, but which of those are really that powerful right now, right? The Koraidon, of course, on the opposing side also got that Flame Charge, so has the speed boost. Can threaten the Calyrex with a double up right now. We're gonna see a Terra come out.
Feels like it has to be that Koraidon to go Terra Fire. You don't want to be super vulnerable to any of those extra attacks coming through later, but for now, it's all you boost up your fire type attacks in the sun, whether it's the Flame Charge or that Flare Blitz. But Calyrex knows it has the pressure of a Sucker Punch from this Brute Bonnet, but we'll see James's Brute Bonnet also take its first turn of sleep.
Exactly, and it is the close combat. It's not a fire type attack into Calyrex, but this now gives James a free switch in. Do you actually want to give him that free switch in right now? That's scary. The other thing to note, Koraidon now takes Life Orb damage. You've dropped your special defense. Calyrex, of course, can apply a lot of pressure with damage with an Astral Barrage, right? And so Brute Bonnet is not going to get the Spore off. James is willing to trade his defensive pieces, and he's looking to position his offense right now. So my question here is, do you finally bring out your 4th Pokemon?
But I feel like Incineroar just makes such a great call here, knowing that you're able to keep an attack drop onto this Koraidon. Maybe it also forces Geo to have to try to switch out this Koraidon. You can play a bit more predictably that way, but it is going to be the Koraidon. So the 4th and final for James now, also revealed in here. Both restricted for him have hit the field.
Oh, this is so scary.
Shit,
right?
I killed.
Like the Brute Bonnet now cannot Terra on the opposing end. Koraidon, of course, provides that collision course pressure, and there's that special defense drop from the opposing Koraidon. So if you're Geo, you could double up onto the Calyrex here with a Sucker Punch and a close or a fire type attack. Obviously, you don't want to close combat a Calyrex, but if you go for that, and Calyrex, of course, could go for a Protect. It could switch out as well. And the question is, how do you get out of this turn positively? James has played so defensively for so long, but this is it. This is the turn to finally exert so much offense.
If you get one more knockout here, James is in such a good position to close out this game with a win, but he has still a tough call to make. Koraidon now going to switch out, wants to also try to cleanse those special defense drops, as Fluttermane is going to be the Pokemon that takes its place. Super risky when you're staring down the barrel of an Astral Barrage, but knowing if you can hold on with this Focus Sash at the end of the day, then you will be able to help yourself out with that speed boost. And good thing for this Fluttermane, it's the Shadow Rider Calyrex. It also decides to take a reprieve.
So much defensive play from both ends. There was a lot of offense being exerted. It's going to be the Sucker Punch. There was the ability to, of course, go for a Spore, but trying to get damage there. And Collision Course, it's a fantastic turn for James here. It's going to deal super effective damage into the Brute Bonnet and get a one-hit knockout.
No way. Another Pokemon down, and only 2 more to go here for James to close out this first game. And Geo at least has timed it so that you can bring this Koraidon out when the sun has freshly expired, but you're also going to still be giving that sun over to the opposing Koraidon.
Now you have positioned yourself where you have Fluttermane and Koraidon. There's no more Terra available, so you can just go Moonblast into Koraidon, close combat, instantly Incineroar. So then the response, obviously, right now Incineroar, of course, does have Fake Out pressure. You could just protect to bypass the Fake Out pressure. One of the key things that we've already seen this turn is, do you predict the Shadow Rider to switch in? Geo's gone 0 for 2 on it so far, right? He went for the Flame Charge when Incineroar was out on the field, and then tried to close combat, and then the Calyrex Shadow Rider switched in. So it feels like if Geo gets it right, he gets such a major advantage, but if he gets it wrong, of course, does lose him a lot of momentum.
It's hard when you have to make that call, knowing that there are so many distinct possibilities of the outcomes of each of these individual decisions.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's all going to boil together and get you a win in this game. And so both trainers, of course, still taking all the time they can in order to make the most informed decision possible.
The Focus Sash is being conserved on the Ghost types is such a big deal here. So here we go. It's actually a pivot immediately into the Shadow Rider, saying you might just go for a Protect with your Pokemon right now.
If it is a Protect, maybe Geo is able to try to read one step ahead and go for a Flare Blitz into that slot instead. That would do major damage to that Calyrex. But in the Moonblast part, there's no Protect.
Ooh.
It's knocked down in one hit, and just like that, Geo has evened up the Pokemon count.
Oh, that's a really greedy play there. And Flame Charge as well. All it takes is one key turn, and that's what she...
Oh, 1 HP.
Focus Sash keeps Calyrex around for another turn, but this game, I think, is about to end.
2 speed boosts now.
That is crazy.
Another speed boost onto this Fluttermane because of that photosynthesis. And even though the Incineroar comes back out onto the field, you can only fake out the Koraidon. This Fluttermane is still free and clear to steamroll right past his Calyrex.
And this is where committing that Water Terra early with Brute Bonnet put James in a really difficult position against late game Fluttermane. I love how Geo recognized Fluttermane's really good into your team. I'm gonna save it. Of course, we started the game off with it. It never took any damage. It never got put to sleep. Imagine if the Spore went off into the Fluttermane on turn 1 rather than the Chi-Yu, but James gets a little bit greedy there and gets punished so heavily. And I think I just don't see a way for him to win this one.
There's still a will, and sometimes that means there is still a way. But James is going to go ahead and take this turn to protect the Calyrex and at least give himself some time to think.
Oh.
Game. Incineroar is the next to fall with a big close combat from this Koraidon. Another one-hit knockout for Geo, and it's just the Shadow Rider Calyrex that stands tall to try to get James a victory here.
Oh my goodness. I mean, if you look at this game, the key turn really was that double KO, or KO plus 1 HP, almost a KO. Calyrex basically is fainted, right? Like, at that point, once the flame charge has happened and there's the Flutter Mane with the speed boost, you just can't handle it. And Shadow Rider just didn't really do much in this game, right? It never really clicked any damage, and so I think Shadow Rider's just really awkward here to use as Flutter Mane secures the knockout, and Geo goes up 1 game.
So back and forth there for those middle couple of turns until that pivotal moment, as you called out, and as soon as Geo started to stack knockout after knockout after knockout together.
God, the stage for this event's so cool. I hope they can do things like this for the future years.
I'm genuinely shocked the Raging Bolt did not come out in that game. I thought like this would be a war between brute bonnets, and it kind of was honestly for the first couple turns, but I thought Raging Bolt from James's end is really powerful here because it can take that special damage. You can even Terra, of course, to get around.
Well, the ad started here in 3 minutes. Best of 3, I believe, is the rule.
And even though he was able to get Shadow Rider out on the field, like that's not really the most powerful Pokemon in this matchup, right? Especially because it doesn't have a way to boost its damage output. It's very fast as well, but it's not gonna get those one-hit knockouts. And so I really like how Geo managed that early game. If you're expecting Flutter Mane and Chiyu once again, then the question is, what are the possible responses, right? And I am definitely looking at that Raging Bolt to start because I think it can at least soak up special damage. Koraidon, of course, can also go for a Terra immediately, Fire Terra Koraidon, and then just start launching damage, go for your own flame charges. And so I think if I'm in James's shoes, one mode I would consider adapting to is Koraidon plus Raging Bolt.
If we saw the Shadow Rider Calyrex hit the field, I would have liked to see it at the beginning, but it is tough when James doesn't have that speed control available to him in the same way that Geo does. But I can hear the crowd right now. Who you cheering for?
There we go. Geo is 1 game away from winning the World Championships and his very first tournament. James, of course, has his back up against the wall, but he's been in so many tournament finals before, and I think he definitely has the experience to take us to a Game 3, but I think James just needs to find the position for offense a little bit more. You know, he managed to make some nice defensive plays, but never really got his offense position, and I think Geo's offense was already more impressive, and Geo was just 1 step ahead, and so Raging Bolt's the one Pokemon that I really have my eyes out on. I think Incineroar from James's end is nice for a fake out, but the problem is it becomes such a liability against the close combat from Geo's end, right? And so the Incineroar not having Flare Blitz, I think honestly makes it a slightly weaker pick in this one as well, because you can't do nearly as much damage to Brute Bonnet.
I almost also see a world where, yeah, you leave the Incineroar at home or the Shadow Rider Calyrex and then bring out the Raging Bolt, as you were saying, but then what about the Landorus here? Do you ever like that at all when some of these Pokemon are, in fact, like Terra Fire Koraidon, Fire-type Chiyu?
Yeah, I think Landorus feels really awkward to bring here, but it's certainly possible, especially because you have a defensive Terra with it as well. I think if you are bringing it, you have to be so careful because it means you probably have to Terra your Landorus. If you're Terraing Landorus, it means you're not Terraing anything else, and it leaves you so vulnerable to so much damage.
Well, our trainers are locked in. They are ready to go as the second game gets underway for the grand finals of the Pokemon World Championships. And for Geo, he is confident in his Game 1 game plan, decides to go for that Flutter Mane and Chiyu again, as well as James Evans running back this Incineroar and Brute Bonnet combo.
Okay, so we saw this played out last time, right? Fake out into the Chiyu, Terra Water the Bonnet. I think James now might be like, okay, Chiyu wasn't actually a problem that last game. It was the Flutter Mane. So now you maybe consider going for a Spore onto a Flutter Mane slot instead. Flutter Mane, of course, could go for a Protect. Geo does have the ability to just go for the Terra on Chiyu immediately. It's Ghost Terra. That would give you immunity to Fake Out and allow you to just go for something like a Dark Pulse plus a Moonblast into a Brute Bonnet. So let's see if any Terras come out. No Terras, no Fake Out.
Oh!
It's just going to be a Sucker Punch right into the Flutter Mane as the Brute Bonnet is going to take the Dark Pulse. And so there is a bit of a trade of damage, but as the Flutter Mane follows up, the Brute Bonnet
Ooh!
with a double up here from Geo. And James has lost his first Pokemon in this second game. Incineroar still gets a chance to move and decides to go for the knockoff, so that will remove the Choice Scarf of this Chi-Yu and at least make it a little bit less speedy.
A little bit of split and damage there. Of course, you have the ability to maybe target the
just
Flutter
do
Main down and
this.
just try to KO it immediately. James obviously taking a really big risk there on turn 1 as well. Not
I
going
mean,
for
big
that
focus
water
going on
terror.
now.
You see, Gio was predicting the water terror, so he went for that Dark Pulse. So both players really just trying to get into each other's heads. Of course, the Calyrex Shadow Rider now hits the field. There is no more Choice Scarf on the Chi-Yu, but you can't, I don't think, knock out the Chi-Yu here. I'm not confident that Helping Hand...
Like, it's happening, sorry.
Maybe if you go for Ghost Terra with the Calyrex, you can go for a Helping Hand, Ghost Terra, Astral Barrage. Gio could potentially switch into Koraidon, give Flutter Main the speed boost, allow it to get an attack off, but yeah, I think the main question I have here is, do you commit to Helping Hand, Ghost Terra, Astral, and if so, does it knock out the Chi-Yu?
That would certainly be a very ballsy play to make, but maybe that's exactly what James needs in order to get back into this game after losing a Pokemon so early. That's the type of aggressive call we need to see from this team.
And here is going to be a switch. I think you also could just go in and Brute Bonnet if you brought it, because there's not that much threatening it with offense, and so there it is.
Brute Bonnet now, at least this Flutter Main can go back into its Pokeball and come back out later. As we saw Gio in that first game preserve it, and ended up being a key piece to that success. Protect on this Calyrex Shadow as Gio, without that Choice Scarf intact, can actually switch up this move as well. This is another way that you can utilize this Chi-Yu with those snarls. You would have loved to be able to land that into the Calyrex Shadow and also drop its special attack, but you'll also take some chip.
I think the Calyrex just is so awkwardly positioned right now, right? You're up against 2 Dark-type Pokemon, and you just, like, don't have that much offense. You can't really use Psychic, obviously, and so you're relegated to Astral Barrage. Astral Barrage just isn't that strong, right? I was like, well, the only way you can get the knock is if you, like, commit Ghost Terra and Helping Hand. That's just so many resources.
It's a lot of resources, and now when you see this Koraidon hit the field, I think the problem becomes even more compounded. You have the Chi-Yu as well that's going to be have a pretty good time, I think, into this Koraidon, especially if you do want to commit that Terra onto it. But then you also have this Brute Bonnet, which with this defense boost might be able to deal with this Koraidon as well.
Yeah, I think the upside for James is now you at least have your restricteds out on the field, and you're not scaring down as much offense from the opposing side. There is still, of course, the pressure of Sucker Punch into Calyrex, though, and I think Calyrex losing its Focus Sash is very, very scary. So if you're James, do you consider going for a switch
That's over.
to try to get around that Sucker Punch? Koraidon right now, I do think, is in a phenomenal position, but you also have to worry about the opposing Brute Bonnet, because if you are not able to get the knockout onto the Brute Bonnet and it puts either of these to sleep, it's a disaster. And I think this Terra makes a lot of sense. I would expect it to be on the Brute Bonnet. And it's going to be on Koraidon to start.
Yeah, Koraidon first, and then we'll see if Gio has decided to respond to that with a terrestrialization of his own. But this Koraidon now uniquely positioned to be able to at least get some more damage down, hopefully before it does get put to sleep by this Brute Bonnet. But Gio does go for that water terrestrialization, so a great Terra here, but both of them, you know they're going for the gold now. With both of these terrestrializations expended, a lot is going to come down to the rest of this turn. That Brute Bonnet is no longer a Dark type, and as this Astral Barrage gets fired out, this Brute Bonnet actually takes about 70% damage.
Flame Charge!
The Flame Charge is going to give this Koraidon a boost, but as it goes into the Chi-Yu, it actually gets a knockout.
It gets the knockout, but Brute Bonnet survives the turn there. I was thinking, well, if you just double up until a Brute Bonnet slot, can you get the knockout with Astral Barrage and Collision Course? This is now a Spore coming out, and it's gonna go out into the Shadow Rider, now putting it to sleep and putting it in a really difficult position.
The Shadow Rider going to sleep, it still has full HP, it still has that Focus Sash, but is it going to be able to actually do anything when you still have that Flutter Mane in the back? Giovanni still has one more Pokemon that he can reveal as well, but I think it's actually really big that James got that Flame Charge for the Koraidon. That speed advantage is huge.
Absolutely, I think that's such a big deal in being able to outpace the opposing Koraidon. If the Sun gets stalled out, then you can outpace the Flutter Mane as well. And so I think, yeah, that was a big, big turn in terms of damage. It's going to be Koraidon coming out now from Gio's end. This Koraidon, of course, is really powerful. It should not get the one-hit knockout, though, onto the opposing Koraidon with a close combat. My question then is, can you go for a Sucker Punch in close combat, try to get the knockout there? And if you're James, you can consider protecting the Koraidon, trying to bypass a turn of sleep with the Calyrex, and hope that you can wake up sooner than later with it.
You have to get a little bit lucky, though, with those sleep turns.
Yeah.
And as we know, sometimes they can sleep for a little bit longer than you would like, but you have to take your first turn of sleep on this upcoming one.
And this is a scary one because, once again, it's like there could, of course, be a switch into the Incineroar, but then it just can eat up a close combat potentially, right? I think that's been one of the really fun dynamics to watch, but Koraidon does go for the Protect, like I suggested, trying to just take that first turn.
But if Geo has opted into going for damage onto that Shadow Rider Calyrex instead, this could get dicey very quickly. Geo, though, actually goes for the close combat into the Shadow Rider Calyrex, maybe expecting a switch-in, something like that Incineroar would have been knocked out or put to sleep.
That turn was so scary because I could see it for Geo. If you made the call, you doubled up with a Calyrex, you might just be world champion, but it's really hard to make that play. Are you just going to ignore the Koraidon from the opposing end? But you called it, Rose. You still got to get lucky with the Calyrex. If you stay asleep, you will not get anything off with it. And so James ends up buying himself a turn. But right now, it's still difficult. I'm not even confident a collision course from that Koraidon knocks out Brubonnet.
Damn.
You've gotten rid of your dark typing, and you have the defense boost. And that would be a disaster. So here we go. Collision course.
Collision course heading right into that Koraidon's way instead, bringing it down to about 70% of its HP. And Shadow Rider Calyrex just cannot wake up. It is sleeping at the wheel as it has to take a flame charge. Its focus dash gets broken, and now it's Geo's Koraidon that gets a chance to get a speed boost and now starts to bypass the speed advantage that James's Koraidon had. Brubonnet follows it up with a sleep, and this is a huge turn for Geo.
Geo must be able to taste the World Championship victory, but he's still got to get there. You got to do enough damage to the Koraidon, of course. And so, once again, an opportunity to maybe double up onto a slot, but instead says, you know what, I'm going to split my damage. And this is where the speed boost from the opposing Koraidon is a little bit awkward. I think if like Geo had close combated and then you're slower than it, you can get a collision course and maybe knock it out. Instead, this Koraidon just is not able to get a one-hit knockout onto the Pokemon, and Calyrex crucially stays asleep. You know, had it woken up, Astral Barrage, that's probably actually just the win for James. And so now, such a difficult position, both Pokemon asleep. The key question I have here is, does James try to play defensively, switch in that Incineroar? If you do, though, you are vulnerable to eating up a close combat or a Spore.
It's hard to make that call to go for the close combat, though, when you know that one of the drawbacks is going to be dropping your special defense and defense. But the Shadow Rider Calyrex does wake up. It just goes for a protect. Decides to play it just a little safe, as now we will see Giovanni go for that close combat into the opposing Koraidon. It's so much damage, but there needs to be a bit more to follow it up. So maybe this Brubonnet is able to do just that. It does have access to that Seed Bomb, but decides to go for the Spore instead into the opposing Shadow Rider.
And that was a really safe play, right? Basically, close combat into the Koraidon. Just
this is getting scary a bit.
Switching to Incineroar, it's eating that up as well. And honestly, Calyrex has just felt so useless throughout the course of this set. It's constantly not applying that much pressure with Astral Barrage, and you are threatened by that Sucker Punch as well. So this next turn, you could go for the Sucker Punch onto the Calyrex.
Yeah.
James, you consider going for maybe an Encore or a Protect, for example. You could even switch out instantly Incineroar, but then the question is, how does James deal enough damage, right?
Yeah, it is so tough. Even if you go for the Encore play, is the Incineroar in the back with just that knockoff as its priority or main form of damage, actually going to help you get through these Pokemon that kind of resist that. So we'll have to see.
James really is hoping to at least get a wake up with that Koraidon, but this turn could be huge. Geo at any point feels like he could just win Worlds.
So the Shadow Rider Calyrex is going to go away, hoping to maybe bypass something like a Sucker Punch, or maybe even be able to, well, look at that. Unnerve actually getting off the field means that his Brubonnet can actually get a bit of HP recovery thanks to the Citrus Berry that it was holding. As the
James wakes up! It wakes up!
James actually is able to go for the Protect on the Koraidon. That's a huge wake up to at least keep James in this second game. But the Brubonnet did go for the Sucker Punch, probably into the Shadow Rider Calyrex slot that Incineroar came into, and the close paw combat. Targeted into the Koraidon. James is getting a couple of good turns correct.
This is so tense because if you don't get that wake up, you probably just, of course, get knocked out with the Koraidon, and then it just feels so tough. James has been keeping himself in this one. Now you, of course, do have the ability to go for a fake out with the Incineroar. Koraidon does have the ability to go for collision course, but it still feels so tense and so scary. But I think if James had not woken up with Koraidon or Shadow Rider on the turns that they did, the game is probably just over. So he's played really nice defensively and has gotten himself into a position where at least he's threatening a fake out now.
He's got to fake out into either Geo's Koraidon or this Brubonnet, and now you have to pick your poison. Which one do you think is going to be the bigger threat? Brubonnet does have Sucker Punch that you can throw into the opposing Koraidon, and Geo says, I'm not going to opt into that variance. I am just going to go for the Protect onto my own Koraidon, but that means that this Brubonnet is going to be eating that fake out. Flame Charge, though, unfortunately from James, goes for the Protect, so you're not going to be able to get that speed advantage there either.
This Brubonnet has been a menace, especially now that it's healed up with that Citrus Berry as well, and so James had the ability to maybe go for a double up into the Brute Bonnet. Gio just goes for it relatively safe, right? He's like, you know, if I go for Protect here, even if you double up on a Brute Bonnet, I don't think you're going to knock me out. Now, of course, the Brute Bonnet is applying Sucker Punch pressure into the Koraidon, and Koraidon is applying close combat pressure into the Incineroar. And so this is still so scary. Like, it feels like it's just on a knife's edge, but it's been in Gio's advantage for so many turns, and I'm sure he can feel so close, but he still has to get there.
James has had a couple of calls where he's been able to bring in that Shadow Rider Calyrex after baiting something like that close combat in, so that it is a tool in his arsenal to give himself another turn. But Gio is going to actually take this Koraidon off the field and now bring in the Flutter Mane that we saw hit the field at the very beginning of this game number 2, and hopefully it'll be around for a little bit longer as James still goes for another defensive play. The knockoff into the Flutter Mane is going to finish it off, but Gio gets to bring in this Koraidon for free, set back up this Sun, and give this Brute Bonnet a Photosynthesis defense boost. And the 4 as well. You're putting this Incineroar to sleep.
Good damn!
Sacrificing Flutter Mane, which I think makes a lot of sense at this point in the game. Flutter Mane is a really good late game option if you have that Focus Sash, right? Or if the Terra hasn't been committed on Koraidon, but it makes sense to give it up here. Now Koraidon gets this, as you mentioned, set up the Sun, and you've gotten to sleep off into the Incineroar, right? So there's still this mind game of like Sucker Punch plus close combat. I feel like Gio just is playing it relatively safe right now, right? He hasn't taken any super big risks. It is getting scary though, right? His Pokemon are relatively low HP. You do need the Koraidon to knock out this Incineroar. Otherwise, Brute Bonnet is really going to struggle into. So then the question I have this turn is, do we see a switch into the Shadow Rider slot? The Incineroar slot is rendered completely useless, of course. You could go for that close combat. Koraidon tries to protect, trying to avoid another Sucker Punch right now.
It's not able to get it though, but the Brute Bonnet is going to go for a Rage Powder just to draw away any attention from the opposing Koraidon, as Geos gets to go for the Flame Charge to finish off. The opposition gets the speed boost that it had removed from itself after going back into its ball. And James
that is
now
rough.
down to just his final 2 Pokemon, the Sleepy Incineroar and the Shadow Rider Calyrex.
I absolutely love that play because I think the main thing you're scared about right now is Calyrex switching in. Gio realizes, okay, if I give you an opportunity to stall another sleep turn, that's not great. I think that play may have just won him the World Championship. Now you've got a Koraidon that's faster than both of these Pokemon. And this is what I was saying. The Incineroar is cool, but it doesn't really do that much damage. Koraidon now will outpace the Calyrex, right? And so you can target that Calyrex slot down. You could just go for something like Sucker Punch in close combat. And I think we're about to crown a brand new World Champion.
Feels super safe for the Brute Bonnet to direct that Sucker Punch into the Shadow Rider Calyrex, and then the Koraidon to follow up with that close combat into the Incineroar. But what does Gio decide to lock in? Potentially get himself that World Championship title. And can James do anything to be able to claw back into this one? There's still a lot of HP on this Incineroar, and it's still a Shadow Rider Calyrex, one of the most powerful Pokemon that we have seen in this format.
It's one of the most powerful, but one of the reasons why Brute Bonnet has been tremendous is because of its Dark typing to deal with that Shadow Rider. Koraidon does protect here, though, to start.
Gengar actually goes for the Encore. So this Brute Bonnet is going to be stopped going for Rage Powder for the rest of the couple of turns.
Okay, ends up being the Encore, of course. You could have locked into Sucker Punch. It is going to be that Rage Powder now. I think it's still fine for Gio because now you can just keep Rage Powdering away from the Incineroar. Koraidon being faster than the Calyrex will get the knockout onto it. You know, it will faint from a Life Orb tick.
Yeah.
And if it faints from a Life Orb tick, it means you can only get a knockout onto one Pokemon.
You've got either the ability to go for the close combat into the Incineroar, or to try to go for maybe a Flame Charge into this Shadow Rider Calyrex. But what if that Calyrex protects? Then all of a sudden, if you're stuck with Rage Powder onto this Brute Bonnet, then there's no way for you to actually be able to deal with an Astral Barrage.
Yeah, I think for Gio, it's like you go for Rage Powder in close combat right now, you knock out the Incineroar, you know that you're going to lose your Koraidon, but then Calyrex can just go for the Astral Barrages, and so James might pull this one off.
It's going so close, but Brute Bonnet, of course, has to go for an Encore
Or
with that
Rage Powder.
And that will direct away anything from this Incineroar. If it even survives this close combat,
Oh.
which of course it will not, because that is super effective. And Koraidon, that's going to be all it's able to do for the rest of this game. It's going to get knocked out to the Rocky Helmet recoil instead. So now it's up to the Shadow Rider Calyrex from James, the last bastion of hope for him into this game number 2 to tie it back up and bring himself back into this series.
This was an unbelievable comeback. Like, it felt like Gio just had the advantage, but James finds the position. Because Brute Bonnet just failed.
Ooh.
Game 3.
Game 3, baby. Oh shit.
Like, it felt like Gio had the advantage every turn, and James got turn after turn after turn right defensively. He needed to get some early wake-ups, but he managed to pull it off, and Gio gives up some of that offense, you know, switches in the Flutter Mane. The Flutter Mane ends up fainting. Crydon comes back in, and oh my goodness, like I was saying, I think Gio's got it. He's got it. It's over, but no, James manages to pull it off, and Shadow Rider finally finding the position to deal damage. What a comeback by James. That was masterful. He had to play defensively for so many turns, and I think Gio's probably thinking, oh, if I just like made one aggressive prediction in that couple of turns where I was getting baited out by the protects, I think that's it, I win. But I think he tries to play just kind of safe and gets punished for it, and James manages to weave in a victory there. I'm honestly blown away by that win.
I am so impressed. On paper, Gio looks to have the more favorable matchup, and as you were already saying before we were heading into the match, you know, maybe yesterday, Gio would have just won on the spot, won this with just the advantage from the team compositions alone, but James has had all day and night to be able to prepare for this matchup and found a way to get himself back into the match and with a chance to win the World Championship title once again.
There are so many different ways this matchup can play out. We've basically seen the same Pokemon, right? And so I'm wondering, does James now shift to that Raging Bull that I was talking about? Because we saw Gio go for the Terra on the Brute Bonnet. If you Water Terra that Brute Bonnet, you are exceptionally weak to Raging Bull. Gio has gone with this Flutter Mane Chi-Yu lead, and honestly, coming into this matchup, that was not a lead that I thought he would even really consider, right? Like, you have a lot of even more aggressive offense from things like Flutter Mane Crydon, Chi-Yu Crydon. Lunala has not even made an appearance in this one, but of course has the ability to go for the wide guard, which of course can be really nice against the Calyrex Shadow Rider. We also have not seen Ursaluna hit the field. I think Ursaluna would be such a bold adjustment, but it's really difficult to feel confident with it, especially because James keeps showing, I'm gonna go Incineroar, I'm gonna go Brute Bonnet. But if you think maybe the Incineroar is gonna get dropped, Raging Bolt comes out, then Ursaluna and a moat around that could work.
It could, but it's still so tough because you're going to need to have the Trick Room set up. You want to make sure you have a turn to actually activate the Guts ability with that Flame Morph to give yourself the burn. And that's just some valuable time you might not be able to get if James decides to go for an aggressive game plan.
This is so scary for both players because you've both seen each other do the same thing in terms of Pokemon choice, right? And Team Preview has so many implications. There's nothing worse than you not making an adjustment, your opponent makes an adjustment, and you're just so far behind right from the first turn.
Well, one more game between Gio and James will decide who becomes the world champion at the 2025 Pokemon World Championships. And let's just run it back, Aaron. It's the same leads from games 1 and 2.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times, just like a Surging Strikes here, as there is such a different position here because both players are really trying to get into each other's heads, right? We saw the Dark Pulse go on to Brute Bonnet last time around. There is the ability, once again, for the Ghost Terra from the Chi-Yu, but that only gets you past one turn of Fake Out. Then it's a really big liability, so I think Gio recognizes, well, that's nice, but then does that actually get me enough of an advantage to really commit going for it? So we've seen so many different turns play out, and I'm curious if it's going to be a repeat of the last 2 games or if it's something new here.
It's tough because even when James has had access to the Fake Out onto the Incineroar, that's actually sometimes not a move he's decided to go for. Maybe looking at something like the Parting Shot a little bit better, but Gio actually is going to go ahead and save that Chi-Yu for later. It's going to be the Brute Bonnet that comes in, and a pretty defensive turn all around as that Flutter Mane is also going to go for the Protect. With the Brute Bonnet switching in, it means that that's going to be what has to eat the Fake Out, and Brute Bonnet isn't able to get the Sucker Punch damage onto Gio's Flutter Mane this time around.
Oh, crucially, the ability to once again go for damage onto the Brute Bonnet. That's now twice that Brute Bonnet has not terra'd in front of so much super effective special damage, right? And so now the opposing Brute Bonnet is out. There is a lot of score pressure from both sides. We thought coming into this battle would be the war of the Brute Bonnets, and that is certainly the case here.
There's so many options that these Brute Bonnets can go for as well. If you don't Terra, you're susceptible to the Spore. You can also Rage Powder to try to redirect away an opposing Sucker Punch. So that's one way that Gio can actually keep this Flutter Mane partner safe. And then you can just go for all of these Moonblast or even just some of these Shadow Balls to make sure you're getting any valuable damage down onto either this Incineroar, this Brute Bonnet, or whatever decides to switch in. But we are going to see a terrestrialization on this turn.
Oh, it's going to be onto the Fluttermane. That, of course, is going to give it a nice little damage boost. And so this could be an absolutely huge turn. Giovanni could just get the knockout onto the Brute Bonnet and then put Incineroar to sleep.
Oh, there's
and no Terra!
This Brute Bonnet is going to stay a Dark type, which means that this Moonblast is going to get a one-hit knockout. It is super effective. And Gio is able to get one Pokemon knockout right away in this game 3.
And there wasn't even a Sucker Punch, and it's knockoff in a Brute Bonnet. It's a disaster for James Evans here, as the Brute Bonnet now gets a Spore off as well. Oh my goodness, I was gonna say Gio there could have maybe protected the Fluttermane, could have just gone for a regular Moonblast, but it ends up being Stellar Moonblast, saying, you have not terrored your Brute Bonnet so many times in front of my offense. I mean, this is an unbelievable lead for Gio. Last game I thought Gio had a big lead. This one feels even larger.
It's gonna be Koraidon that has to take that Brute Bonnet's place, but it doesn't want to be on the receiving end of a Moonblast either. James has preserved the terrestrialization, so you are able to use that to try to take this Koraidon's negative energy away from it. But it's still a tough uphill battle.
James played a defensive masterclass in game 2 though, and found the switches that he needed to keep himself in the game. He is at a major, major disadvantage right now, but we've seen him pull it off once. And so right now, you know, the upside is that you are not threatened by one-hit knockouts from the opposing side, and you are pressuring your own knockout onto the opposing Brute Bonnet. Fluttermane Shadow Ball, however, of course, will do considerable damage. And so you could consider just going for something like a Sucker Punch on a Shadow Ball, or Rage Powder on a Shadow Ball, for example. For Gio's end, you're looking to just get that Koraidon low enough, and I think Shadow Ball plus Sucker Punch puts it in KO range from another subsequent Shadow Ball.
Feels like James is almost forced to have to go for a Protect here onto the Koraidon. Make sure you aren't going to be taking too much damage from those boosted Shadow Balls.
Ooh.
But we do see the terrestrialization committed, and so it's going to be that Koraidon that does get rid of its Dragon typing, now becomes a full Fire type, and maybe that means we're going to see something like a Flame Charge or a Flare Blitz. Really make sure that you're getting as much out of these Fire turns as possible. But Incineroar is going to be on the receiving end of an attack, as the Collision Course now will finish off this Brute Bonnet once and for all. It's been such a menace so far in these games, but that critical hit, that's got to sting.
Yeah, securing the knockout there onto Brute Bonnet. I mean, Brute Bonnet is actually very, very physically defensive on the opposing team, and so I think there's actually maybe a chance it could survive that without the critical hit. But you could see, Rose, you were saying, hey, Koraidon, you know, protect. That makes a lot of sense. That's what James kept doing in that last game. Protect, make a safe switch. James is like, look, I've done that enough. I'm going to punch back with offense, and I think gets a really great turn. If you ate up a Sucker Punch and a Shadow Ball there, I think that could have been really, really scary. But I do wonder if Collision Course was guaranteed the one-hit knockout on the Brute Bonnet there, but for now, we're gonna have to advance the game. Gio is gonna get a free switch in, and it's gonna be into Chi-Yu.
Okay, so the Chi-Yu comes back out, and that's going to give a nice special defense drop to both this Koraidon as well as this Incineroar, which is gonna make sure that this Fluttermane can actually punch through a little bit more damage. Notably, we've only seen the Moonblast. It still has a Stellar Terra Power boosted Shadow Ball that it has access to throw that Koraidon's way.
Yeah, this is so scary, right? Like, do you double up onto the Koraidon? Does Koraidon go for kind of the obvious protect? If so, an Incineroar feigns, the next turn Koraidon is just vulnerable to eating up, double up, right? And so Chi-Yu and Fluttermane now positioned so well. You've got the speed advantage, especially because it wasn't a Flame Charge the previous turn. And so Gio has so much offense on his side. And the Incineroar, crucially, did not take over 50% last turn, but now the Beads of Ruin are active.
So that would be just one more Moonblast to knock out this Incineroar, and it still has a chance of waking up, but it's totally still asleep. Koraidon now will go ahead and go for the Protect, and as we see the Fluttermane go for the Shadow Ball into that slot, James is hoping this is going to be enough of a saving grace to actually let this Incineroar wake up, but the Heat Wave from this Chi-Yu will be able to connect onto both targets. Incineroar does take a pretty sizable amount of shit.
Oh, it doesn't wake up!
Incineroar stays asleep!
It stays asleep, but it is the Heat Wave lock. So now my question is, this Koraidon is bulky. Can it survive a Heat Wave and a Shadow Ball? If the answer is no, the game is done this turn. If so, you keep yourself in it, and you're able to retaliate back with either damage on the Flutter Mane or a knockout onto the Chi-Yu. But what makes this so tricky, Rose, is the fact that the Flutter Mane is still so healthy. There was no Sucker Punch earlier from the Groupon to break that sash, and Flutter Mane right now feels like it's running away with the game.
Shadow Ball first from this Flutter Mane is going to go right in that Koraidon that protected on that last turn. This is a huge source of James'
I don't think it's gonna take it!
And the Chi-Yu goes for the Heat Wave to try to finish it off. A double KO! And Gio is one Pokemon away from becoming the world champion. Someone who has hunted for a major Pokemon title win in so many events previously, dating back to his time in the seniors division alongside James. And this could be the day he cements himself in Pokemon history.
This is his moment, and oh my goodness, he's staring down a full HP Flutter Mane and a Chi-Yu.
No, he still got it.
And as it goes for the victory lap, this Flutter Mane brings this Calyrex down to its focus sash, and it's going to be the Chi-Yu looking at
We're gooning, baby. We GM gooning. Giovanni got it.
Over 5,000 live fans watching. Unprecedented in Pokemon video game history. An arena that's crowned Olympic champions before. Gio now can call himself world champion. His very first tournament win. And what better way to do it than to win the world championships?
an incredible stage for an incredible player. Something that he has been dreaming of and striving for so long. Gio Siski, take a bow. This is your moment, your day, your stage. It's all yours.
You can see the emotions. He's worked so hard for this. And it was an unbelievable way to do it. I think that second game, honestly, it was so nerve-wracking. It would have gotten to me, honestly, as a player. You're in those shoes and you're like, I'm just one turn away from winning Worlds, but he didn't get there. James found the way to come back in that one, but he kept his composure, decides to stick with the same game plan. Both players actually going with the same Pokemon throughout the entire set. And that's Stellar Terra. This turn, this was such a key turn. James just lost so much out of it and had such little in response. And, you know, if it were a Sucker Punch, at least maybe you would have broken the Focus Sash on the Flutter Mane, but it was not enough.
What a bold call there from Gio at the end of it all, and that's why the Stellar Terra on the Flutter Mane was such a big threat. He even saved that powered Shadow Ball to make sure you could deliver enough damage onto this Koraidon that you could ensure the cleanup KO with the Heat Wave from the Chi-Yu as long as it connected.
That's right. we were so caught up in the moment, but of course if you use Chi-Yu in competitive Pokemon, one of its biggest liabilities is that it is generally using moves that can't miss. It's Heat Wave, it's Overheat, it's Snarl. And so my heart really stood still for a second there. I was like, is there any chance the Koraidon even survives the double up? The answer is absolutely not with Stellar Terra as well as Beads of Ruin. So many multipliers. Koraidon is bulky, but it is not bulky enough. And Flutter Mane just ran away with the game here, doing so much damage. What an absolute superstar of a Pokemon.
Wow, well, congratulations to Gio, to Brute Bonnet, and to Koraidon for winning a World Championship. Let's head over to the stage to talk to our new World Champion.
Let's hear it for your World Champion! Giovanni, I keep seeing you just going like this, shaking your head. What's going through your mind right now?
Disbelief. I mean, I prepped really hard for this tournament, and I've been following competitive Pokemon for over a decade now and competing at in-person tournaments for 7 seasons, and 6 of those in the Masters Division. I don't have any words. This is just unbelievable. I can't believe that like all the work finally paid off.
Tell us a little bit about that. Everyone here is wondering what it's like to be standing where you're standing, and we know you put in so much work. There were probably moments where you felt discouraged or like you might give up. What advice do you have for people that want to put in the kind of work that you put in?
Trust yourself. If you want to pursue something, go for it wholeheartedly.
It's great advice. Now, we want to let you get off this stage and take a few deep breaths and celebrate with your friends and family, but not before we give you a chance to say anything you'd like to say to this audience or your family or anyone at home.
Thank you to my family, thank you to my friends, thank you to everyone who's supported me along the way, thank you to all the spectators here that have made this event so wonderful, and I'm very grateful to be crowned as the new world champion.
Crown you are! Let's hear it for Giovanni! Casters, back to you.
I love that piece of advice. Trust your gut, trust your instinct, and that is exactly what Gio Siski has done the entirety of this format. These 6 Pokemon are Pokemon and a team he has championed since the very beginning, and it is that mastery that has earned him the title of world champion.
What an absolute pleasure it was to watch his tournament run here. Absolutely unbelievable. And that was a very dramatic finals. It felt so tense. The first game, defensive play, back and forth, both players switching out, both players going for those sleeves. Games 2, honestly, an absolutely phenomenal comeback by James Evans. I was like, I think the game is over. I think Gio's about to win Worlds, but James continues to string defensive play after defensive play, gets it right, and manages to force us to a Game 3. And then in Game 3, it's Fluttermane, this brand new Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. How fitting is it that it now wins the World Championships once again?
And Koraidon, I mean, talk about such a standout Pokemon. It's really been all spotlight on Koraidon since the beginning of Scarlet and Violet, and I love that Koraidon really can hold its own candle to the rest of the legendary Pokemon that we've had coming out of this game.
And it feels fitting that it was Koraidon that won the World Championships last year, and I think people were saying, I don't know if Koraidon's really that good. It had an absolutely phenomenal performance at this World Championships. I think especially in a format where Koraidon was so heavily regarded as one of the favorites. But, you know, history repeats itself in the sense that I think with these dual restricted formats, so often what is the #1 threat really gets targeted down. And in the end, it is this unique Koraidon Lunala team that we have not seen many other players pilot that ends up winning it all.
We have crowned 3 incredible champions in the video game championship series, starting off with our juniors division. How wonderful was it to see Luke Whittier be able to get to the finals and also win the whole thing?
Absolutely incredible run, and I think this made Trick Room look so good in that finals.
Absolutely, and looking at our seniors division that was next to follow, what an amazing storyline that we had. Kevin Hahn winning the World Championships last year in the junior division, comes into the senior division and absolutely dominates the competition there with an undefeated streak to win again, back-to-back years.
If there's one player you gotta look out for to be able to win Worlds in all 3 age divisions, like I think Kevin Hahn's gonna do it. It might obviously take him a few years to get to Masters, but it's going to happen. I feel it, but we still, of course, are so lucky to witness his greatness. And you really, like, I think we should just put him in the Masters division and see how he stacks up, because clearly he's just so phenomenal.
Himself and Christopher Hahn, I think, are definitely big threats to all Pokemon competitive players. But as we finished out our day, we had an amazing 3-game set between James Evans and Giovanni Siski to put a wonderful bow on our Pokemon World Championships for this year. Congratulations to both of our trainers for making it to the finals, but major congratulations to Giovanni Siski for winning the whole thing.
Of course, as we take a recap and look at our top 2 players. Here we go once again. You just saw the finals, nothing new here, but of course, 2 different Koraidon teams that made it to the very end here. One with Lunala and one with Calyrex Shadow Rider.
And our entire top 8 was so stacked for the Masters division. We got a chance to see our trainers battle it out yesterday through the final phases of our single elimination Top Cut bracket. And now you're the 8 that stood above the rest at the end of the day. 371 Masters division trainers come in. These are your top 8, and Gio Siski is standing above them all as #1.
And if you look at this field, there are so many players that have won championships before. James Evans, of course, a world champion previously. Hirofumi, of course, 2-time Japanese national champion. Montana,
yeah, Victor had the fucking...
Kosugide, the senior
Hirofumi also had the Smeargle. I saw those 2, and I'm like, yes, Smeargle! Smeargle mention, that's my goat! That's my goat!
Ends up on top, and once again, what better way to do it than for your first tournament win to be
I love Smeargle a lot. I actually really use Smeargle more for my channel here.
That's where they were, right? This was, of course, considered to be maybe the #1 duo coming into Worlds, and it had a very strong performance, 3 in the top 8. But in the end, it was not enough for this duo, as we see, of course, the Koraidon teams making it. And Koraidon with, #1, #2, and #3. There was one Miraidon in the top 8. This, of course, was the most talked about Miraidon team coming into the World Championships. Ko had a slight adaptation with that Life Orb instead of the Choice Specs and was able to pilot it to tremendous success. But in the end, it's Koraidon that ends up being the top dog here with 4 out of 8 teams carrying one.
Oh, but congratulations once again to your 2025 Pokemon World Championship champions, Luke Whittier, Kevin Hahn, and Giovanni Siski.
If I ever played VGC, I would constantly use Smeargle, even if he wasn't good.
Sad because it sees Ice Rider winning 2 different worlds, and then
I'm like the Pachirisu guy.
A little bit, Miraidon's like, hey, Koraidon, you can get Masters, but I'll get Juniors and Seniors. But Shadow Rider, it's won the World Championships before, back in 2022, and I'm sure we'll see it back again.
After an incredible day of competition here for our video game champions,
One day.
let's celebrate all those that competed today on Championship Sunday with our awards.
What a championship Sunday! What a day of action and suspense and upsets. Thank you everyone here in person and online for supporting Pokemon, and we hope you keep pouring energy into these competitions for years to come.
He's so dripped out.
Now let's bring our finalists to the stage from the 2025 season. Are you ready? First, let's hear it for your video game finalist.
They're as tall as you, Shark. You're right. They're as tall as Drew.
And now, your video game junior champion, Luke Whittier.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's a junior. Pokemon World age brackets.
Your video game senior finalist.
Oh, I'm looking at the list of like how things are. The juniors for folks that are born or after 2013. Seniors is 2009 to 2012, and masters is 2008 or before.
Now let's hear it for your video game senior champion, Kevin Hahn. Your video game Masters finalist, James Evans! And finally, your 2025 Video Game Masters Champion, Giovanni Siski!
Sure, why not?
These are your finalists and champions of 2025. Raise your trophies high and let's hear it.
Yeah. That's scary. I'm becoming the old person. I don't like that.
Concludes our 2025 competitive season.
I'm almost at my mid-20s now.
Over yet. One of the most anticipated moments of the weekend is coming right up.
It only does get worse.
Ceremonies. What will we unveil? I'm not going to tell you. You have to come to find out. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take some time to reset our stage and recap what we've seen so far this weekend. So let's go over to the casters to discuss.
Thank you, Anna. What an incredible way to wrap up our 2025 season. Giovanni versus
How much time do I have? Because I'm like, I actually need to go watch it.
Incredible win there
So I'm gonna
in our
do that.
Masters Video Game Championship there. We want to go through a couple recaps here with you guys. I'm Jim, joined by Chip, Gabby, and Chef. We were just chatting about the TCG finals. Chip, kind of walk us through, for any viewers that may have missed it earlier today, give them a recap here.
Well, I think the big story for TCG is Gardevoir getting the win finally. Its third year of legality at the World Championships. It's been one of the most dominant decks for each of those 3 seasons, and now it finally claims its victory in the hands of Riley McKay, a player who about 2-3 months ago, many of the TCG player base was not very familiar with. He didn't have that many high placing accomplishments to his name, but at an AIC, he got second place, and he was able to use that momentum to get himself the title here at Worlds.
It's an incredible story, and congratulations again to all of our TCG winners. Gabby, give us an update here on VGC. For anyone that may have only watched Masters, how did things go in the juniors and seniors division?
Well, I mean, you just saw the winners over there on stage getting their trophies. Congratulations, by the way. But honestly, it was 2 incredible matches. You know, I think Luke had a really fun match against his opponent. And then I think the biggest story, honestly, came out of the seniors division. Kevin Hahn won last year in his last year in the juniors division, won again now in his first year in the seniors division. It was such a fun match to watch too. I was in the audience, and it was just, you know, seeing both trainers locked in, making their moves choices. You know, the stage was lighting up and everything. A really intense environment to be competing in, and to see, you know, the juniors and the seniors being able to hold up with all that was really exciting. So I know we literally just watched VGC, and I'm sure some of y'all are just tuning in for the first time. Go back after we're done here, check it out. My voice is gone because I was in there yelling a little bit too much. It's worth losing your voice over, I promise.
Yeah, absolutely. What an incredible weekend it was, and we're all looking forward to closing ceremonies. Absolutely. Well, we're going to start from the top here. We started out the day with Unite. Chef, we had some major storylines. Can you give us the summarization?
Yeah, of course, Unite got to start out the day. By the way, huge shout out to all of you for doing amazing interviews. You included, yes, you included. Of course, come on. No, in the arena today, it's been awesome to watch. Of course, you know, we were finished pretty early on, so we got a chance to watch it all. But for Unite, if you weren't up early enough to watch it, we started off today with 2 teams that guaranteed a brand new world champion, which is not a common thing for us. We have had some repeat world champions, but Peru Unite from Latin America South and Zeta Division representing Japan. Japan trying to repeat the win for their region, but in the end, it came out with Peru Unite on top, and they are the first ever Latin American team to win Worlds for Pokemon Unite, pulling off some gigantic upsets. They eliminated both Zeta, who was considered potentially the best in the world, coming up from Japan, and our 2-time world champions, Luminosity Gaming, who are working on winning every single international championship in an entire season into Worlds. Unfortunately, they fell just a little bit short at 3rd place, but it's because Peru was able to defeat everybody in their path.
Absolutely. We just missed out on the season sweep there for LG, but congratulations congratulations again to Peru for what can only be described as an incredible grand finals. As we continued on throughout the day, we moved on to our mobile game, Pokemon Go. We had 2 trainers from the EU region as well as the APAC region facing off. That was going to be Beelzeboy versus Pokémon. Coming up just short, not making it to Championship Sunday from LATAM was LNDS Harjef. Beelzeboy versus Pokémon, what an incredible battle. Beelzeboy actually coming in from the loser side of the bracket, having previously lost in winners finals to Pokémon. He was able to take a 3-1 victory in the first match, resetting the bracket, where he then, in a incredible 5-game series, was able to tough it out, beat Pokémon, and take the title of champion. Don't forget, Beelzeboy was our 4th place finalist that ended up coming up just short in 2024. So it was an absolutely incredible story to take that next step in his journey.
You know, I actually was talking with somebody earlier, and they mentioned that Beelzebub was one of 2 competitors who came from India to compete this weekend.
That's correct. Only 2 trainers from the India region, and they both performed very well, both top cut. Again, Beelzeboy is a trainer that took 4th place last season, and this was his breakout moment. What's really interesting is that the India region doesn't necessarily get quite as much coverage on the main circuit as EU, LATAM, and NA. So it was great to see that spotlight that he does get. He was able to completely capitalize.
That's so cool. I mean, I know that Pokemon Go has a very fast evolving metagame, and you had some moveset changes announced as well this morning. Do you think trainers were excited to hear that news?
They were losing their minds. Yeah, absolutely. I was here in the crowd when they started announcing everything last night, and there may have been more energy for the moveset releases than a lot of the battles in day one. It was absolutely incredible. And it was very similar to last year as well. It's been a great opportunity for us to really get a preview of what the new meta is going to look like before the world even wraps. Well, we're going to keep moving on here, Chip. I know you talked about a little bit as well, but can you kind of start from the top here and give us a recap for what we saw in TCG?
Yeah, well, starting with the juniors division, this is where we kicked things off. We had Yuya Okita taking things down with his Raging Bolt deck. This has been a popular deck throughout the season. He was able to defeat Jose in that final match. And pictured there, we see Raging Bolt EX and Teal Mask Ogre Pawn EX, but the story of that match was really the single prize Raging Bolt, the non-EX Raging Bolt, using its Thunderburst Storm attack to target down Jose's benched Pokemon. Yuya was able to just totally control the pace of the board and really limited Jose's options. Then in the seniors division, Fuguan Liao from China, our first ever Chinese champion here at Worlds in the TCG. He was able to take down Gabriel Fernandez, which I think was one of the biggest stories of Worlds, was watching what Gabriel Fernandez would be able to do. He's someone who has won all 3 ICs this year. He won 2 regionals. He maxed out his locals. He had the maximum number of possible championship points and was just one singular game away from completing the perfect season. He was unable to defeat Fuguan, though, who had a really, really, really unique deck. Golden Go EX mashed with Joltik Box. It was really like you took 2 decks and shuffled them together and then just pulled out the best 60 cards. And it ended up working out really nicely. We saw a little bit from it in the Masters division, but Fuguan was able to get the win as a senior. And then Riley McKay, as I mentioned to start things off here, really cool story. You know, someone who we weren't super familiar with a few months ago. He gets 2nd place at NAIC and then just propels that forward and becomes the world champion.
It is so incredible when we get to see these trainers make their mark in history, adding their names to the Wall of Fame that we got to see at the Pokemon Museum. Just so many incredible trainers that are capitalizing and making their moment in history. All right, last up, Gabby, we just got to see all of the VG games. I know we had some big upsets in TCG and Unite. Any big upsets in VG?
There's a Buzzwole flying behind you, Gabby, just so you know. Watch out.
Okay. It was first the T-shirts, now the Buzzwoles. No, it's funny you mentioned that. Honestly, all of our upsets were earlier on in the weekend. I think that when it came down to the 3 finals matches that we had earlier today, they were very neck and neck. Now, in the juniors division, we had...
Or something. I have not listened to that song since, I believe, it came out.
Whimsicott and Walking Wake. Whimsicott and Walking Wake especially, we hadn't really seen much in the Masters division throughout the weekend, but Luke's team was very traditional. Miraidon, Calyrex, Ice Rider, had a Farigiraf and an Iron Hands, you know, very common Pokemon we've seen in the Masters division, a very comfortable Trick Room team, just was able to stay one step ahead of Sosuke throughout those games. It was a very fun match to watch. I love to see how Luke was prioritizing, setting up the Trick Room, making sure the Miraidon got on the field at the right time. It was really a really fun match, so make sure you go back and watch that if you can. In the series,
I may also
like I said
stream
earlier,
the
Kevin Hahn,
Beyblade
our
Worlds.
first ever competitor in the video game to win Worlds in both the juniors and
If
the
that
seniors
does actually get
division.
live streamed with the English side.
Also, if you think about Ray Rizzo, there's a weird technicality that could mean he's first, but we're going to ignore that for now. His opponent was Xian Li from the Korea region. His opponent was running Calyrex, Shadow Rider, and Zamazenta. Again, another sort of common core that you see throughout the Masters division. But Kevin was also running a team that I'd seen him run earlier on in the season and that I'd spoken to him about at regionals. Once again,
It's fun seeing memes come out of the
team, using that Trick Room mode, making sure that you had the right Pokemon on the right field at the right time. There was a lot of high-level gameplay in this game in particular, with Xian trying to pivot his Pokemon around to give the Zamazenta in particular opportunities to go for some big attacks. But again, Kevin was just one step ahead, and his brother Chris was talking about how Kevin just knew instinctually 70% of the matchup going into the prep they did last night, and he was really only there to provide the extra 30% and maybe a little encouraging words before the battle started. Of course, though, we have to go back and talk about the Masters Division matchup. Giovanni Siski, our world champion, and then James Evans, our finalist. They had dinner together last night, which was kind of cool. I like sneaking in these little stories because, you know, it's not just about the Pokemon, it's about the people. And dinner was actually very cordial, apparently, but then they went their separate ways. They both stayed up late into the night prepping. But in the end, it was Giovanni's team. It was that Terra Stellar play where he was able to take the one-hit knockout on the Brute Bonnet, get that advantage, and then ultimately take this crown to become world champion. So again, you have to go back and watch if you missed it. It was some of the best Pokemon I've ever seen.
Incredible analysis from Gabby. Thank you for walking us through those battles. One thing that I just want to harp on, you just talk about the story, the community element that goes into Pokemon, right? It just, what leads to these moments for all of these individual trainers, their champion moment? So many battles, so much prep, so much community that goes into it, and it's just truly amazing to see.
Yeah, we had a little bit of that in the TCG finals as well. Justin, one of our finalists. And
I am happy that Goldango won seniors. That's the one I'd be like running. So I'm happy he has like some type of spotlight.
Justin told us he actually made changes to his deck list because of the games that he and Riley played together, and it propelled them both to the finals. That's a really cool story for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what?
Whose baby is that? Who thrown the baby up?
Is there anything that you can tell me about it? We got a video coming up.
I wasn't paying much attention to like the actual back.
The giant marble, it would only make it more confusing if that helps. We have been advertising the world's largest marble for many events now. May or may not be accurate, but we've made it to the end
of my children.
The largest marble here in Anaheim, California. Honestly, the only way to really know about it is
The Unite casters descend upon Worlds.
There's a whole last person there.
California. Spirits are high, but they have all forgotten.
It's actually like really funny.
World's largest marble.
That's so huge. That dude's having a blast at least. He's like, oh! Dude, I've not like played with a marble in like years. I think. It's been like forever. We should do some competitive marble playing.
Anaheim, California, home of the world's largest marble. Ah! Oh, scared me.
Well, glad to see that you're okay, Chef. That looked very, very dangerous.
It was very scary. Also, let it be known, we actually screamed that long out by the line for the Pokemon Center. So there may have been about 1,000 people looking over and wondering what was going on.
Ooh, Magikarp model kit.
It was not edited to be longer than our actual screams were. That was genuinely... It was an experience, but hey, you know, we're terrified. The world's largest marble. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen.
Someone was doing a great chimpanzee impression. I heard it there. Can you reveal who that was?
I'm not 100% sure who each scream was, but I think it may have been Dupe Snacks.
Oh, no shocker.
Well, I should get a playmat at some point.
T-shirt cannon segment earlier, if you guys were watching in between VG matches.
Oh my
Always a lot of fun with those two.
I think they were born for that. They were not born to be casters. They were born to be T-shirt cannon operators.
It's like I've been thinking recently, like I need a like a mouse pad desk mat like thing for my actual desk. And I've always been like trying to look for one I actively enjoy, but like design-wise, there isn't a whole lot I do really like in the first place.
You all deserve t-shirts. You really do. There has to be a safer way. Like, I was trying to give an interview. There were t-shirts flying. There were people screaming. They were doing, like, poses on the stage.
I've been up and around like my card shops, my local game stores. Like, there's nothing I really like when I like look and like, it's okay.
That we have here, so many event activations and different activities that folks can participate in. Let's take a look at a video for everything that you folks at home may have missed out on.
What's a Farfetch at? God, those poor guys playing on a Switch one. Somebody's on Switch Lite. Oh, that's Wolfie. I can't believe it's almost been like a 2-hour stream. It like does not really feel like it, although like I am really tired.
What an incredible weekend that it's been. I know all of us have had a ton of fun, and like I said, the atmosphere here in the convention center has been absolutely electric. Chip, I wanted to ask you, did you get a chance to tune into the opening ceremonies?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorite things every single year, and it just feels like new things are happening time and time and time again. Basically getting a little bit of a concert to kick off the World Championships. Incredible.
Gabby, did you have a favorite song that you got to listen to, and what do you think of the music in general?
Oh my goodness, you asked me about the music. Jim, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
No, it's funny because I feel like I always associate big events with music.
I even started to see what they like showcase today and like announce.
That being said, I think the song that Nate Wants to Battle and Anna Prosser were singing, that one just was really just hit me right here. Like,
Oh fuck.
Anna's a good friend, and seeing her dancing on stage,
Geodude.
having the time of her life, like I was tearing up.
Gabby, it was
so
great. I'm sorry to interrupt. We have another video that we want to play before closing ceremonies.
All right.
There are ads here in like 30 seconds. Give me the heads up.
Make sure you catch all the action.
I can't believe they make Geodude real.
Capture all the battles.
Gear up for glory.
It's such a like different vibe from seeing the international brand of Pokemon, like US and like Europe and whatnot, and like those regions versus like how Japan has their stuff set up and like design wise.
From LAIC to EUIC, NAIC to here, we've traveled the world together. Trainers, fans, and champions in the making. Now it all comes down to this. The stage is set, the battles will be fierce, and the excitement is just beginning.
I suppose ads haven't popped yet, or they may have, and it's not telling me.
Welcome to Worlds. It's gonna be legendary.
Okay, there's the ads.
All right, well, we are so close to closing ceremonies. You can see under 3 minutes. And I just want to say thank you to everyone here at the venue.
I'm like, it's happening. I don't know when. It just happened.
These casters here, it takes a village, absolutely, to get all of this working. And it has been such an incredible time here. I would encourage all the folks watching at home, if you ever get an opportunity to make it out to a Pokemon tournament, whether it's a local, a regional, an international championship, or even next year in San Francisco for Worlds, absolutely give it all of the opportunity that you can to try and make it there, because like I said, the atmosphere is absolutely electric. I want to get some impressions, I think, from you guys. What was the defining moment that you saw, Chef, here in Anaheim?
The opening of the arena. We've never seen anything like it here at Pokemon Worlds. It was amazing.
Gabby, what about you?
I think for me, honestly, it was when I got to interview both of our finalists yesterday. Just seeing them sort of process the moment when they realized they had made finals was really special, and I'll always remember that.
Chip, was there a moment to you that stuck out as the most memorable?
I love it when the doors open that very first day. Competitors, spectators, parents, the whole community fills these halls. The staff welcomes them in, and they get into their seats. They shuffle up, they power on their systems, whatever it may be, and get ready for that first round. Incredible.
For me, I think it's just all the
haircut
trainers in their stories. I think that especially when you take a look at the friends and family, I had an opportunity to interview actually some, it was Patamon's father as well as Beelzeboy, one of his friends, and just these stories of friendship, companionship, and growth especially. A lot of these trainers we get to see year after year, and you get to watch as they grow, as they improve, and as they build.
Welcome back from the ad. Yeah, you haven't missed much. I've just been
one of the probably most important things
rambling about nothing too important.
I mean, for you, would you say that there's, any trainer that just made that their mark?
I am excited to see what 2027 holds. Because like, back-to-back US events kind of suck. I hope it's in Canada. Even if it's like Toronto or Vancouver, I want to go out.
And just seeing how how graceful he was in that finals match, and seeing him and Giovanni support each other at the end of that game, I think is something that was really, special and really showed the spirit of the game and the spirit of Pokemon.
Oh shit, like Gengar.
Together, just really show what this game is all about. Yes, we are competitive, but we are friends and we are family.
Like, if it's a case, I hope it's Toronto.
Just like you said, competition is why we're all here. That's why we all spend so many hours training, spending times in game, and so
shit, the time went back up. Right now, fuck, we're not ready.
In many cases, it's all for this moment. But when we look at some of the friendships that are involved and just the sportsmanship, it's very heartwarming for sure. Chip, anything for you that you feel was just worth highlighting as we get ready to wrap up here?
Yeah, I mean, I love to highlight the community any chance we get. You know, it's really what it's all about. Lifelong friendships made through this franchise that we all love so much. You know, people will know for the rest of our time here on this floating space rock. Really special moments getting to share them with everyone.
Absolutely. You know what? I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to go to the Pokemon Center here, but this was one of the. I gotta say, this was all the gear from this year was some of my favorite that I've ever seen. Between the jacket, between some of the plushies here. Gabby, did you have a favorite Pokemon Center item?
Oh my goodness, all? No, I bought the jacket, the Leatherman jacket, and I will be wearing it on my Zoom calls for the next couple of weeks like a dork, and my coworkers will call me out on it. It's okay, Brad, I know. It's okay.
My co-caster Butters, he saw the jacket as well. He got one not just for himself, but for his wife as well.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you guys can see, we only have a couple minutes left until closing ceremony. I absolutely recommend that you stick around. You are not going to want to miss it. Absolutely. In some cases, this is what people look forward to the most at Pokemon. I know last year we had some huge reveals, and I cannot wait to see what we're going to be having soon. Chef, did you get a chance to go to the Pokemon Center?
I did. Unfortunately, the jackets were sold out. The baseball jerseys, both of them I wanted, didn't get a chance to get them. But I did get the boogie board, which we've been seeing people carry around all weekend, and that is certainly going on my wall. It is a very, very cool piece, and it really is. It fits the theme of Anaheim.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? We've had such cool locations in the past. Of course, Hawaii and Honolulu, incredible environment, very iconic with Pokemon. Japan, of course, in Yokohama.
Ouch.
Who can forget that?
I should check the Pokemon Center website because I don't really look up on there because everything's so expensive for me. But I'm like, maybe at one time I'll buy something from you, and I just never do.
Got to see a blending of all that different types of cultures and music.
He's like,
we saw some rock, we saw some hip-hop.
all of the Smeagol merch I like just isn't up on there. So I'm like, oh fuck, never mind.
I just gotta say, it's been such a fun time.
So I'm waiting for the plush to come back in stock. It just hasn't.
Again, big thank yous to everyone involved here on production, on staff, the cast.
It's like just a small pin and a stash. That's all I could buy.
For having us. And as you guys can see, we are ticking down to closing ceremonies here. We are so excited to take you into all the action. This is what we've been waiting for. Let's kick it back to the arena.
Guys, I got my new keyboard sometime here soon. I think that I do need to actually buy and like not spend money on like toys and things. I need to have a nice things and be able to do things. Red lock it now.
Closing in, and it seems like hope's all gone. Take my hand and we together will see the hero inside us leads on. Though our fate remains unknown, and these doubts, dark clouds in our minds, deep within something has grown, and that's how I know we'll always find the will to fight to the light tonight. Take your place among the stars. It's your right. It's time to show what lives inside. In the heart of a hero, a flame burns ever long. In the heart of a hero lies the will to carry on. Unbreakable.
They breaking it down.
Find the will to carry on. Unbreakable, unfakeable, always hear the call. Because the heart of a hero, yes, the heart of a hero beats within us all. Tell me if we had to start from the beginning once again, would it be worth it? Retraced every single step that led us to this very moment, would you do it? Every high and every low, knowing just where the path would go. Every sacrifice we made, would you do it all again if we could stand up here and say it's our time? We've been waiting so long, feels like forever. Now the moment has come, finally it's our time. We'll remember this day until forever. We can hold our hands high, come stand with me. It's our time. Come on. It's our time.
Let me take you all back to the scene of just a small town kid who believed. Growing up, I throw a ball against the wall and dream of making the league. When I got started, no, I really started a team. From the first loss to the first badge, our bond articulated what the words lacked. On the journey, pushing forward to evolve with my friends. I look back at every battle and I do it again.
Every high and every low,
And again and again.
knowing just where the path would go.
All the way up to victory road.
Every sacrifice we made.
No regrets, yo, I live for the game.
Trainers, let me hear you say.
Let me hear you say it's our time.
We've been waiting Every step and every scar, every wish upon a star, built the strength to chase the sun. We faced our fears, refused to run from humble thoughts to dreams of glory. High, now our names echo across the sky. It's our time, yeah. It's our time, and we're living it up. You know we came so far, never gave it up, yeah. Now take a look at us. Finally, it's our time. Living it up. You know we came so far, never gave it up, yeah. Now take a look at us. Finally, it's our time.
What incredible performances to close out this incredible World Championships we have had here for the Pokémon 2025. I'm getting choked up because I have no idea what to say after that.
The speed cut at the end of all the most recent champions crowned today. One, good work in the back production, killed it. Second, it's enough to bring a tear to your eye. And how about those performers, the orchestra as well, buzzing out here.
I know, the orchestra, the performers, the dancers, and we cannot thank you enough for tuning in at home, for being here, competing, for supporting all of the incredible players that were able to take our stage today during Championship Sunday, and for your love of the game of Pokemon. Thank you all so, so much.
I would say more, but that pretty much well rounds it up. And I don't know how much more time I'm going to have talking to an arena full of people, so I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of it here. Tomorrow might seem daunting, but every day you've made it past is a challenge overcome. You are loved, you are not alone, and Pokemon, and especially its community, is incredibly special.
I have an important question for you.
Yes.
Would you do it again?
Do all of it, or like just the t-shirts?
Well, all of it, you know, everything that Pokemon is so special for.
I don't think there is anyone in this room right now that if they could wind the clock back wouldn't take that opportunity to do, especially this weekend, all over again, and especially experience this arena for the first time all over again.
It really has been such an amazing experience here in Anaheim, California, and it is, again, in so large part to all of the people that are supporting us, not just our performers and, of course, our spectators, but all of our judges, our staff, our production team, everybody behind the scenes that have worked so hard to be able to put in such an amazing show for all of you. So please give it up for them.
That's the most common through line through the Pokemon community. These events, whether it's your local store or the world stage, passion is key. Alliteration, play Pokemon with passion, gets it done, and 2025 is almost completely in the books, Rosemary.
I can't believe it. Feels like just yesterday we were over there in Hawaii, and now we are back for another World Championships, and we already know that another one is coming around the corner. Who's excited for 2026?
If this is any indication, we have something huge in store for next year. I know this is the first time we've gotten into an arena, and I sure as heck hope it's not the last time we're in an arena, because this thing is packed to the gills. People are gassed to the gills, and this is just for a single day of Pokemon action. Knocked it out of the park. It feels great.
I like what you did there with the alliteration, you know? Gassed with the gills, you know, I can't think of any more on top of that.
They saw me out there, they said, we need one person to step on stage that has shorts just slightly shorter than Necra's dress. I said, I'm your man, get me up there, I know words.
T-shirt cannon guy, everybody.
True.
I love that. If that's the mark that I've left on this whole thing, that's totally fine with me.
I love that. It's been such an incredible weekend, though. I mean, just looking back to the start of today, we got a chance to crown the Unite World Champions, our Go champions, TCG, and of course, just now, the video game. And we are so excited to be able to show you even more of what is to come. So please take a look.
Thank you to the Pokemon World's Philharmonic, to Michelle Ray, to Cam Steady, to Bryce Miller, the Pokemon World's dancers, all of you for delivering such a fantastic performance, honoring our heroes and commemorating the time we've all spent together. We've been evolving this event year after year, and we've come a long way from streaming in the humble ballrooms of the early days. This is my 10th year serving as your host. And it has truly been my honor to learn and play with you as we all grow up together. Stop it, guys, gosh. This World Championship marks the end of this season's competitive road, from the locals and leagues to internationals and everything in between. And each of you is the reason why Pokemon is so special. For me, it's the energy and community that each of you bring to the event. The trainers competing, the families and friends who support them, the viewers on stream, and every single staff member who makes the events come to life. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for such a special Worlds. But it isn't over yet. As you know, make some noise and please welcome to the stage the president and CEO of the Pokémon Company, Mr. Tsunekazu Ishihara!
Whoa. Shit, he's ripped out too. I didn't realize your game was like that.
First of all, congratulations to all of our newest world champions. You have given us an incredible performance this weekend, making it the best world championships yet. And of course, a deep thanks to all of our wonderful staff who have made this world such a special memory for us all. And with that, now I would like to share some of the latest news for our Pokemon games with you all.
Yay! Pokemon news! The thing I'm here for!
Please take a look at this.
Yeah, Pokemon Go content. Woo! Yeah, let's give it up, everybody!
アナハイムにいらっしゃる皆さんには特別なプレゼントを準備しました。この閉会式が終わった後、アナハイムには無限ダイナが現れ、世界で初めて無限ダイマックスバトルができるようになります。
So as a special treat for everyone who is here in person, Eternatus will be appearing in the Anaheim area immediately after these ceremonies are concluded. And you will be among the first in the world to be able to try an Eternamax battle.
無限ダイナをポケモン GO で捕まえるチャンスなので、ぜひ他のトレーナーの皆さんと一緒にチャレンジしてみてください。
So please team up with your fellow trainers and try to catch Eternatus in Pokemon Go.
次にポケモントレーディングカードゲームポケットの最新情報をお伝えします。
Pokemon Pocket.
Let's take a look at the latest news for Pokemon trading card game Pocket.
What is the next set? Alright, Mega Evolutions. Yeah. Makes sense, they would do that.
ポケモントレーディングカードゲームポケットにもメガ進化がやってきます。秋のアップデートを楽しみにしていてください。
Mega Evolution is coming to Pokemon TCG Pocket 2. Please look forward to the update this fall.
また、ポケモンユナイトは4周年を迎えました。こちらの映像をご覧ください。
Pokemon Unite just celebrated its 4th anniversary. Let's see what's coming next.
Oh! Okay, Delmise. Yeah. I did buy Suicune earlier. I spent a couple money on the game. So I'm probably gonna drag a bit into playing this game.
今後も多くのポケモンや新要素が追加されますので、お楽しみにお待ちください。
We plan to introduce many more Pokemon and more updates to Pokemon Unite in the future, so please look forward to it.
続いてはポケモンカードゲームの最新情報をお知らせしたいと思います。こちらをご覧ください。
Next up, I'd like to share the latest news about the Pokemon trading card game with you all. Please take a look.
Yippee card game! Yes, the mega stuff. There's only really like one card I'm interested in from this newest set of stuff. Ooh! Oh, no, never mind. Okay. I kind of fuck with these cards a bit more. These be stylish as fuck. Can I Dragonite?
EX の登場でさらなる盛り上がりを見せるポケモンカードゲームを楽しみにしてください。
So with the release of these new Mega Evolution EX cards, the Pokemon TCG is going to be more exciting than ever.
次に2つの映像をお見せしたいと思います。
Next, I would like to show you 2 videos in a row.
Ooh, okay. I'll switch to.
Pokemon Legends ZA.
Yes!
Linked battles in a whole new style.
Linked battles?
Get ready for intense 4-player mayhem. In the ZA Battle Club. The time limit is 3 minutes. The trainer who defeats the most Pokemon will be the winner. The match has begun. At the start of the match, you can play it safe, go on the offensive, or collect items to power up with. Who knows where things will stand in 3 minutes? Here,
Ooh, that's cool.
but it's blocked by the steadfast shield of protect. Gyarados quickly counters with waterfall. It's super effective. Talonflame goes down. The trainer who defeated it earns 1 point. But there's no time to relax. Ampharos Mega evolves and immediately fires off Thunderbolt.
This would be fun to fuck around with on stream.
When your Pokemon faints, you can still rally and dive back in. This is still anyone's game. These trainers are back on their feet. They decide to switch out their Pokemon. 1.5 minutes left. We're halfway through. Mega Ampharos' battle with Go-Go is heating up. Whoa! Furfrou barrels in from the side with Hyper Voice. Both weakened battlers go down. That's 2 points at once. The trainer changes Pokemon again and presses on. 10 seconds left on the clock. And this trainer's full up on Mega Power. Dragonite Mega evolves. And it unleashes a raging Draco Meteor. That's all 3 opponents down. A huge upset in the final 10 seconds. Dragonite's trainer takes a clear victory. These furious 4-player battles await you in Pokemon Legends ZA. Available to pre-order now.
Oh, that's so cool. Release date, please? No. No, that's James.
Pokemon Legends ZA はポケットモンスターシリーズの最新作で最大4人のプレイヤーとリアルタイムのオンラインバトルができます。
Pokemon Legends ZA is the latest entry in the main series Pokemon video game, with new real-time online battles of up to 4 players.
Pokemon Champions はポケモンならではのファン性バトルに焦点を当てた2026年の世界大会ビデオゲーム部門で使われるタイトルです。
And Pokemon Champions focuses on the traditional turn-based battles that we all know and love of the Pokemon video games, and it will be the game played at the video game category at Pokemon World Championships 2026.
メガ進化を存分に楽しむことができる。
I mean, I guess it was like this year's the last time for starting on Violet.
I hope you look forward to fully enjoying Mega Evolution in both of these upcoming titles.
さて、アナハイムで皆さんと一緒に過ごす時間は終わりに近づいてきましたが、来年のサンフランシスコはこれまでの世界大会がさらに大きく進化するイベントとなります。こちらをご覧ください。
Our time here in Anaheim is coming to a close, and now we look towards San Francisco next year, where we will see another big evolution in this event. Please take a look.
Okay. EXP. XP. Pikachu. I don't realize Pikachu was real. What the fuck is happening? Is this like happening right now? Why is there a big ass Pokeball in the sky? What an XP. Oh.
Pokémon XP と世界大会が同時に開催されるサンフランシスコでお会いできるのを楽しみにしています。
We will see you all again next year in San Francisco when Pokemon XP joins the Pokemon World Championships.
皆さんありがとうございました。
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I think that's I can wrap up stream now. The new Link battle stuff actually is really cool.
We aim to evolve this event every year, and I can tell you that 2026 is going to be another step up in terms of size, wonder, and excitement. Now, though, the 2025 Pokemon World Championships has concluded. Our newest champions are now etched in Pokemon history. Thank you to all our friends here in California for welcoming us and making this weekend truly unforgettable. Don't forget, trainers. Support your local community.
Is Wiggly still alive?
Invite your friends. and tune in online.
Libs Live.
Until the road brings us together again, good luck, have fun, and we'll see you next year.
Is Wigglypon out live? No, they went offline for a while. I can go to my this game, unless it's actually happening. Boom. That was fun. I'll do this again next year. And I will be streaming on the 19th and the 21st, I believe, for Gamescom Opening Night Live. Because I was able, I was given okay to co-stream those events, so I will react to both of those, hopefully. The ending, we're leaving, and by YouTube.